Good morning. Welcome to Film Church Radio. This is the podcast that treats cinema as a religion. Guess what? There's video. So if you're listening to this on a platform that doesn't have video and you want video, go to either YouTube or Spotify and you'll get video. And if you're already on YouTube or Spotify and you're looking at the video and you're like, hey, dude, all I see is a logo with some scrolling film on the side. Is that the video you're talking about? Well, it is right now, but just give me a second. When the episode starts, it's going to have actual video for most of the episode. I also messed up and the video cuts off like an hour into it, but, you know, hey, I'm doing this by myself. What do you want me to do? Give a guy a break. I got a great episode coming up for you. I am working on a feature film with Inwood Park Productions. I am acting in it and helping out with some other things behind the scenes. Not directing. Chance Smith and Harold Jackson are directing. Harold couldn't make this episode, unfortunately, but we got Chance Smith here. His wife, Kaylee Smith, who is head of Vanities. She's doing hair and makeup and loads of other things on the film. We got Eli Fischer, the director of photography. We got Khmar Shaik, the line producer, as well as many other things. We all wear lots of hats. You know, we're indie filmmakers. That's what we got to do. So I got a chance to sit down with everyone and talk about their favorite movies of the year. It's a little bit unstructured because I'm currently trying to figure out what these new episodes are going to be. I think as I do more episodes, I'm going to kind of find a new structure for the show, possibly. I don't know. We'll see. You tell me what you think. Speaking of which, obviously, Lewis couldn't make this episode because he would have chimed in by now. And he's doing good. We're both doing good. We've both been really busy this year, which is why this is only like the second episode of the year and it's the end of the year. He's been busy working and raising a family. Yeah, I just hit him up the other day and was like, hey man, I want to do an episode where I interview some filmmakers, and thought about starting a new podcast, but we've got this one still. So I'm like, if it's film related, let's just do Film Church. And got his blessing. So here I am. I'm sure Lewis will do some more episodes in the future when he has time. But for now, I'm riding solo, but not really. I got guests, so, you know, that helps a lot. Hope you enjoy the episode. If you want to know more about the feature film we're working on, the Mauve Artifact, link in the description. Link in the description below. I don't know what that was. Yeah, click on the links. All of them. The feature film we're working on is a feature film. And it is not a short film. Okay? We're not doing these shorties here. My gosh. It's Sunday morning. And I'm winging this. Sorry. I can't get my words out. Inwood Park Productions has made a series of sci-fi short films over the last 2 or 3 years. Season 1 of Tales of Jovia, which includes several of these short films, can be seen in the link in the description below. Season 2 is coming very soon. I'm acting in an episode in season 1. I'm acting in an episode in season 2, and I'm coming back for the feature. I also helped out with various other of these films in different ways. Man, I'm long-winded. Let's get to the episode because it's really fun. Okay? Let's get there. But please click on all the links in the meantime. All right, onward.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Don't
Don't you understand, George? It's because you were not born.
Film church.
Well, a boy's best friend is his mother.
You don't have to go to church to pray. You can watch movies anywhere you want. On your phone, in the bathroom. You don't have to go to the theater. You don't have to go to church to pray, and you don't have to go to the theaters to watch movies.
City of God rocks.
So I actually haven't watched City of God.
Whoa.
If you can believe that. It's been recommended to me so many times, but yeah, I need to watch it.
And it's right there.
Yeah, that's the problem with streaming now, right? Is like,
there's everything.
There's so
it's
many
paralysis
options.
by analysis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I will get on. I will like now like me and Sarah want to watch something going to bed, and I'll open Netflix and be like, what's in here? And then I'll open Hulu and be like, what's in here? And then I'll open Max and be like, what's in here? And then before I know it, like an hour's gone by. Yeah. I'm like, I only have time to watch a show now. Mm-hmm. What shows are in here? What shows are in here? And then I can't pick anything.
I also don't want to watch a bunch of dramas. That's like always the big thing. And I feel like a lot of like the Netflix things that come out, like the big things everyone talks about are these like new, real gray looking like drama TV shows. I'm like, this is not going to be fun for me.
I'm not on TV.
And it's all of that kind of stuff on.
Carry On just came out for Netflix, and Carry On rocks. Carry On is like Die Hard in the airport.
We saw that like yesterday.
Is it a show or
no? It's a movie. It's a movie with Taron Egerton, who's a hunk. Absolute hunk. And then
the Dune movie?
Yeah.
Oh, the TSA movie.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
He's like looking at the TSA.
Oh,
and
yeah.
like,
Carry On.
Carry On.
It rocks. It's literally it's Hitchcock meets Die Hard. It's set in a singular location. It's not action heavy. The action's fine, but I mean the real interesting stuff.
Thriller.
Yeah, the interesting stuff is
the
thrillerness of it all and the Hitchcockian stuff of it all.
Sorry, I was messing with the audio for a second. It's called Carry On?
Carry On, yeah.
Carry On.
Carry On.
And it's
like a carry-on bag.
And who made it?
The dude that made Black Adam.
Oh, really?
Well, I don't think anyone directed Black Adam.
Though.
Like, it's a good action movie, and it's one of its stirring endorsements. Yeah,
I mean, one too, please.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Everybody else go.
Yes, please.
We're gonna look
just
like
be
a bunch of
aware of smacking in the mic.
Yeah, never mind.
So, yeah, but with superhero movies, a lot of times, does the filmmaker actually get to make the movie they want to make?
I think superhero movies are.
I mean, what would you guys do if you got offered a DC or Marvel movie?
I don't know. You'd show up to set maybe 3 months after they've been filming all of the action and choreography, and they tell you like, okay, this is what we need, and you're like, yeah, that sounds good. And then you just kind of sit in a chair for a little bit, and then you have to answer 1 million comic book questions on the press tour. I think that's what you'd do if you were directing a DC or Marvel movie now.
But
I think it depends on who is like the new DC stuff with James Gunn. I feel like
it's all James Gunn.
It's
like
going to be
everything.
It's going to be very him focused, and it's going to be very, independent projects. I think from there. But I think with Marvel, it's for the most part, unless you are James Gunn, you're going to get,
Yeah, I mean.
And even his are kind of, you have to do these couple of things for.
Yeah, you have to throw these. I think, it's maybe with the Marvel stuff. They just kind of.
So, question. Am I allowed to cuss? Or
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
How
just
many
be
words
yourself.
can I.
You can say 4 curse words.
But not the 7 that Carlin said you can't say.
Keep in mind what those 4 are. Just track them.
Oh, I was just going to say the same thing over and over again.
There you go.
We're just going to... 2, 3, 4. I'm going to keep a tally over here.
Gosh, dang it.
But more...
I'm fine with 4.
Back about the superhero thing, like, if you were offered a superhero movie, would you take it?
Oh, definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you would, absolutely. Especially, like, in our position, it's like...
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
well, yeah.
It's
if I'm offered any movie, I'm taking it. If I'm offered any money, if I'm in a position, if it's like a choice between getting a small fund, like a small $1 million project off the ground, or directing a Marvel blockbuster, I'm doing the $1 million project for the rest of my life. That's what I would do.
Like if you knew that consistently you would get those $1 million projects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As opposed to going and directing the biggest movie of all time.
Well, my question would be like, so we're all filmmakers here, and we all are, but we also have day jobs. At the same time. We're at that moment where we're trying to turn the filmmaking into our career, into our paid job, but we're just out there hustling, trying to make it happen. So, there probably isn't a world that exists where you would get offered a superhero movie as your first movie.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like you would. I
mean, a lot of factors also come into it, because if you take superhero movies, it's not a singular movie, it's a franchise, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So for a franchise, you have a lot of fan following already. And as a filmmaker who's going to make it, you have to take all of these into account. Like how much fan base has it, and then how much budget is it. And because you have to stick to the original. And if you deviate from any part, either from the story or from even to the tiny bit to the costume, there's going to be a big section of people who are not going to be happy with the creative decision you made. And when opposed to like how Eli said, if I get $1 million movie, not a franchise, not a superhero one, I think I would take the other project than the superhero one, because the other project I have more creative freedom to
express
myself, not having the fear of, oh, how is it going to be perceived? I mean, it's still going to be perceived in a way, but with the superhero franchise, it's way more a bigger stone that you're carrying than the
and it's more
project.
volatile.
You're playing in someone else's sandbox. That was like the big. That's what I was gonna say too. Is like, I took the $1 million project because you're playing. So I don't want to play in like the existing Spider-Man universe. Like I don't.
I
care.
do.
That's fair. But like I wouldn't touch Star Wars with like 100-foot pole like right now. Like anything you do, like I loved the Acolyte and like everybody else hated it. I was like, really? What were you not? Did you not see that? That was crazy. So yeah, and like everybody hates everything. So I don't want to play in their sandbox, and I don't want to receive the hatred from everybody who is gonna hate it no matter what you do.
And if it's your, like how Branden said, if it's your first project we're talking about, right? First project, no, I don't think I would take it. Maybe down the line, obviously.
It also depends on what they offer you. Like if they're offering you, if they're like in the contract, it's like you get 100% creative freedom and final cut. You might be like, I'll do it.
Yeah.
But also, it's like I think as a filmmaker now, you don't have to, but like you really, if you want to get your name out there as a director or something like that, you kind of have to do, or try to do something mainstream, try to do something that's like big blockbuster, right? To get yourself out there. But,
it's like Nia DaCosta, right? Nia DaCosta did a Candyman remake that was like her directorial debut, and it rocks. It's awesome. Jordan Peele directed it, and then she did The Marvels right after, and she caught a lot of flack for The Marvels, which I saw The Marvels. I really liked it, but she got a lot of flack, especially for saying like, I took this movie to take off my student loans, and so I mean, which is true, but it got her name out there, and even though I don't know if it was critically well received or not, or if anyone hated it. I think people that saw it liked it, but no one saw it. I think that was the big thing.
Yeah.
But now she's at a point where I don't know how it's going to pay off for her, because she's uber talented, like ridiculously talented, and she might have the creative freedom to go be like, oh, I have more money and I can go do whatever I want and I have this name. But then, you're like Chance said, you're playing in someone else's sandbox, and it's not like it's like overall like well praised and everything like that. People are like praising it as like, oh, Marvel's returned or anything like that. So like, what does her career look like now? Like, what's her next step? Does she get to do whatever she wants, or is she kind of like, oh, you directed that movie that no one saw,
right?
That big movie that no one saw.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so it also could work in the opposite way with like what's his face who made Rogue One. I don't remember his name.
Rian Johnson.
No,
Isn't it?
No,
Ryan-
Gareth
Edwards.
Edwards,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah,
he
the
made the
Godzilla
creator
guy, yeah.
like after that immediately. So he did Godzilla and Rogue One, and then he was like, "All right, now I'm doing a different thing. I'm doing a like independent-y kind of,
But
sci-fi movie."
even look at that.
But everybody hated that movie, which I think was great.
I thought it
but it was
was
like a
pretty
Kaylee
good.
cried during
Yeah.
it. I
Weird,
loved
right?
it.
Yeah.
I love that movie. I thought
But
it
you
was
look at,
it's
look
also-
at Garth Edwards. You know how he shot it was, and this was like the whole big thing at the time. It was the Sony FX30, and he just went run and gun.
It's a good camera.
I mean, no, it's a great camera.
It looks
But he just
great.
went run and gun. Like it was a small set, and like people in the background, like they just shot, wherever they could. So it's like, is that? I don't know. I mean, is that freedom as a filmmaker? I mean, you thought directing Rogue One would grant you more, access to resources and stuff like that, but he basically just had to fly around to different countries and,
I think that was by choice. I watched him like talk about it, and he was like talking about how he wanted to capture like the natural environment in all the places and then get like actual people doing things, because then he had ILM do all the VFX. So then you have like like all of every single robot is an actual person. Well,
right,
most of them, and they're just like they just filmed it however and then CGI'd over it. So I think he might have done that purposefully, though. At least it felt purposeful. It might also be like they had to do it, and then they were like,
because
"Here's
no one will give him a budget
and then here's
his independent sci-fi."
Yeah.
You like it, Kaylee? You like the creator?
Yeah, it was a really good. Like I remember at first, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes Chance will be like, "We're gonna watch this new sci-fi movie," and I'm like, "Oh God, okay." But like we put it on, and it was actually really, really good.
Yeah.
Like I remember in the beginning being a little bit like, oh, I don't know. And then as we got into it, I was like, wait, what just happened? Oh my gosh, wait, hold on. And like the whole time.
I like what's his face though.
John David Washington.
Yeah,
He's in
I like him a lot.
He's in his new one. His brother directed. So Denzel's
I
got
saw
two
an
sons.
interview with both of them,
Yeah.
and it was a awesome.
The
interview.
piano lesson. I think it's a play.
His brother directed that.
Yeah.
Killer. Okay,
Phenomenal.
well that's good to know then.
The Washingtons are taking
Yeah.
over.
Yeah,
Rightfully
dude,
so.
Denzel Washington. I feel like I don't like. Is there anybody better than that guy?
Oh no, I think he's the greatest actor of all
Dude.
time.
Did y'all see Fences?
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
he's
my
directed-
favorite
so
movie
good.
that I've ever seen him in.
Bro.
Yeah,
It's so
and then
good.
I'm a huge Spike Lee head, so
Yeah.
I mean I'm like obsessed with the guy. I just like, or him and Malcolm X. It's just like, whoa.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, what a transformative performance. Yeah, Denzel is. Yeah, I think he's maybe the best of all time. I can't think of anyone better off the top of my head.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, if
Can't
you
be
can think of
he's
somebody
bad
better,
in, like,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
if someone can
Training
think
Day?
of Training Day,
Was
He
it
won
Oh,
an
yeah,
Oscar
him
for
and-
Yeah,
it.
Training is great.
that was him and Ethan Hawke, right?
Yeah. And then I saw recently American Gangster.
Oh yeah,
I think that's where
Rusty, yeah.
my man the phrase came up from, because he says that phrase a lot, like my man.
Yeah.
You know, and the scene where he I think kills Idris Elba's character.
Whoa.
That scene is so
I
it's
know,
so
what the heck?
damn-
Spoilers.
Sorry if I spoiled it.
To the movie that came out
but
20 years ago.
20 years ago, I think you have to watch it. If you haven't, I think sorry for the spoilers, but even the scene starts off with just having normal conversation with his family, and then he's talking about the business, and then it kind of shifts from him being like in the space of his people to being the authoritative gangster he is, and then he just slowly walks through the guy, and then he asks his cut, and in the middle of the street, and then people are thinking, oh, he's not gonna do it. He pulls a gun on him, and then when we hear the shot, even as the audience and his family members, everybody's watching in the street, we are kind of gotten into this depth of what kind of person he actually is, because until that point we see the business aspect of him being the gangster, but now the ruthlessness of him, it can be from the money he got or the power that he attained, but only Denzel can pull that kind of stunt
yeah, I
without
think-
having to put more effort into his acting.
Yeah, I think the clearest representation that he's the best actor of all time is the way he does Shakespeare. I mean, like if you saw like Othello or like
I didn't see it.
What he did one.
Macbeth?
He did Macbeth.
Yeah.
Oh, I meant to say Macbeth.
Yeah.
And I think he's doing Othello on stage, is what he was saying. No, but he did also another one in the 90s. I forget. It might have been Much Ado About Nothing, but he is so effortless with the Shakespeare dialogue. It is so real. It's incredible. I mean, like he can just like it's like I'm talking right now and he's saying how cometh thou art, bite my thumb and shit and stuff like that. You know, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it makes it seem natural and not some weird speak.
Right.
Yeah.
Look, I've never seen him do it, but every single person in Romeo plus Juliet is so good at doing it.
That's Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yeah, that's my favorite interpretation of any Shakespeare ever. I think it's...
Because it was modern and then everybody's talking in
like
the
10 Things I Hate About
Victorian
You?
era English, right?
I do like that, but
You like Romeo and Juliet?
I do. I really like it. I think it's just such a beautiful movie. I think it's Baz Luhrmann.
Yeah, it's Baz Luhrmann.
Kind of it's the most Baz Luhrmann-y thing outside of like Elvis to me, that like it feels so it's so out there by also being so like manageable as like an edited kind of concise film. But Elvis is like one scene.
What, not even Great Gatsby?
I like Gatsby, but I like Romeo and Juliet more, I think.
No love for Moulin Rouge.
I do. You know, I'm not a big Moulin Rouge fan. I had to watch it also as like a kid.
I like Strictly Ballroom because that's Baz Luhrmann doing his thing without a budget. I think it's awesome.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, it's like one of his first ones. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's like pure Australia, and it's yeah. But I might just be saying that to be contrarian. I think I might like Romeo and Juliet the best.
Yeah, I didn't really care for. I mean, I liked Elvis. It wasn't terrible, but like it was whenever Austin Butler was getting nominations for it, I was like, it didn't have any acting in it. It was an edit of like the editor. 100% should get total credit for that movie. But I felt like
production design.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was so well put together. Like it was well directed. It was just I felt like there was no scenes. Like I watched the whole movie and I was like, wow, that was fast. It felt like a music video. I don't know, but it's definitely him as the most Baz Luhrmann-y outside of like.
I think it worked. I liked it.
I liked it a lot too.
I don't think it was bad. Yeah.
I mean, where else are you gonna get Elvis singing Britney Spears "Toxic"? I mean, it's incredible.
Is it in the movie?
Yeah, it's that. They sample it for like it's like when he first starts to blow up and he's like going all over the country and everything like that. You got Britney Spears as "Toxic" like overlaid over the. I'm like, this is all. Or you get Doja Cat in it. Like, who else is putting Doja Cat in an Elvis movie? Singing "Hound Dog."
That's a good point. Yeah.
It also that movie reignited like a new generation fell in love with Elvis, I think.
Right.
A younger generation did.
Yeah.
Like cuz Elvis is I mean he's been long gone for a long time and like we did this 80th birthday thing for Sarah's grandmother and they hired a Elvis impersonator for her 80th birthday. Like, that's like that's her generation's music and there's just so many artists now that I feel like Elvis has been kind of lost in the dust a little bit. Same with the Beatles. I feel like there's not as many young people that like the Beatles now. But
I think you have to define young.
Well, I mean like teenagers, like teenagers like and I think the Elvis movie was geared towards like teenage, like we're not teenagers.
Not to be contrarian, but I'm
actually 16 years old.
I'm not a big Elvis or Beatles fan. Actually,
mentally, I'm always 10 years old.
I've never grown up like Hook.
Yeah. So I know we're like 20 minutes in already, but thank you. I thank all of y'all for being on the podcast.
We were
I appreciate
already
it.
playing? I didn't know.
Oh yeah. No, we did.
To be completely honest, I didn't notice at first, and until like
No,
Yeah.
Brandon
Oh,
was
we're
smooth.
going.
I was like, wait,
He
hold on,
was
we're
really
here now.
smooth with getting.
I think that's why I asked, like, can I cuss?
Yeah, well, and it was right when you said that, and I was like, oh wait, we're already in this, aren't we?
So, we're all Inwood Park Productions, started by Chance here, and Harold, who couldn't make it today. We were hoping he could make it, but we'll have to get him on at some point. You've been on Film Church Radio before with Lewis and I.
We talked about what was it?
AI. The Spielberg movie written by Kubrick.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that was like a year and a half ago already. It's kind of crazy
that
we did that show.
I still have controversial opinions about it. I've tried to go back to it, and it's
And you
still.
still done.
It's still. I don't like Kubrick that much. I was telling.
Really?
Were you there?
Yeah, I think it was us. Yeah.
When I was like, I think Kubrick makes beautiful images, but I think that his movies are generally boring.
Slow.
Yeah.
They're like The Shining is really boring. The like Clockwork Orange is kind of boring. Like even the most like engaging parts of it, I find I'm like, I don't know, but it's beautiful. It's so well crafted that I can't be like it's bad. It's just like I think it's kind of boring, and so I think that's the big AI thing. And I know that you
Eli, response.
totally disagree.
I mean, no, look, I'm not a Kubrick head, but Barry Lyndon or Eyes Wide Shut is maybe like one of my favorite movies of all time. It'd be top 10 if I really thought about it. And I just like, I think he definitely perfected American meditative cinema, right? Like he definitely perfected that, or even like 2001 and everything like that. He's very great in all his genres. But yeah, I'll go up to bat for Barry Lyndon and Eyes Wide Shut, but you can have the rest of them. I don't care.
Yeah, I think I'm mostly thinking of The Shining, and because The Shining always like we've watched The Shining before, and we fell asleep before like it got into it. And I was like, I feel like I'm never gonna finish The Shining, and then I finished it, and I was like, yeah, I don't know, this is not.
Jack is just so big, he's so big in everything.
It's like the thing is, it's so good, like it's well crafted. It's just like. I think it's a different time.
You're a
period.
Stephen King fan. You like his versions.
So
I don't think we were talking about that too. Like the Stephen King, he didn't like Shining because
Stephen King's
his differed from the book.
Yeah,
it's different from the book, and I heard that it was only half of the book, the first book, and then the second part was is it Doctor Sleep that just got made recently?
Yeah,
I don't know
sequel.
if it is the actual. I don't know about the context. I've never read The Shining.
Yeah, I think the hotel is haunted. Have you read The Shining?
No, my uncle, whenever he passed away, he was a big Stephen King fan. And we have the first edition of The Shining on our bookshelf right now. So I'm like, we should read it. It's right there.
I think the hotel is alive in the book. I think it's like a monster house situation.
Right.
Does that make it better for you?
That might be more interesting.
Yeah.
I might like that more.
There's a uvula.
That's
like I really like
the last shot of the movie is pulling in on or pushing in on the picture, and Jack's in the photo with all the people in the hotel, and it's like, so did his soul get sucked into? Is he like a part of the hotel now? Like he's a part of this. Like all the people in the frame, are they all the people haunting this hotel, and now he's a part of it? Interesting. But you should definitely go listen to the Film Church Radio episode on The Shining. Not to plug my own show, but I wasn't a huge Shining fan either. And then after going through all of Kubrick's filmography, and then watching The Shining and doing the episode with Lewis, and we had Andy Zeik on, that was one of the best episodes we've ever done. It's so fun, and like the way they talk about their love for it, because Kubrick was like studying subliminal advertising. Like he studied the hell out of it and tried to use that in the way he made the movie. And when I thought about it, because Lewis and Andy they've both watched The Shining so much, and the way they describe it is like, and I think even Zach said this too, is like, now when they watch it, by the end of the movie, they have a huge grin on their face. And I was like, I wonder if there's some kind of psychological thing that he did with the movie where subliminally he did something to where if you watch the movie enough times, you like have a smile on your face, and it's like a subconscious subliminal thing. And I don't know if that's true or not, but just like the idea that, because people think of Kubrick as like this mad genius with all these hidden things in his film.
Right.
Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't, but the idea of that someone could be that good at filmmaking to where they could hide something in a film where subconsciously you didn't even know what was happening to you.
Yeah.
By the end of it, the idea that someone could like have that power is pretty dope. I don't know. I see movies as like, yeah, they can be so powerful, you know, if you do them right, or you know, they can also just be garbage. But you know, like
yeah, sometimes it just flies over your head, the subliminal context, whatever they're putting in.
Yeah.
I think one example was Interstellar. I want to put it. It was the whole concept of the movie is circled around love. You know?
Yeah.
What is your thoughts on Interstellar?
I can't watch Interstellar.
Why?
She's scared to death of it.
Oh, really?
Space actually terrifies the hell out of me.
Yeah.
And
is it like claustrophobia?
It's I'm like very claustrophobic, but it's just the idea that like this is so dumb, but like if you're in space, you're like, and something happens, like you're just floating out there, and like it just doesn't stop.
You can't
and
do
it's
anything.
so
You know,
big.
I just saw Lightyear, the Chris,
the Pixar,
the Pixar one. The girl, she has the same fear.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Exactly same fear.
Did you watch
Look,
it?
I will say
No.
You can't watch any space movies.
Well,
and
no,
your husband is
like-
a sci-fi filmmaker.
Yeah, which is why, like, earlier, whenever I was like, sometimes he's like, let's watch this new sci-fi movie. I'm like, shit, am
And
I
do you
going to
ask,
be
is it in
traumatized
space?
the rest of the day? Like,
Look, Gravity, I get,
Well-
but Interstellar, I don't.
well, isn't okay?
Like,
Correct me if
Gravity,
I'm.
I get because I'm like, oh yeah, that's scary. Like, whenever they're first getting
Wait.
lost in Gravity,
No, wait, because in it isn't. I mean, I guess I'm gonna say whatever spoilers, whatever. But isn't Interstellar the one where like he kind of like is gone for a long time and his daughter grows up and all
Yeah.
this stuff?
Yeah, he was in
Yeah,
the
that's
Yeah.
terrifying. Like
Yeah.
that is so sad.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is,
sad.
I
Really
can't.
sad.
I don't think
Yeah.
I can like that's the other part that scares me is like he went to go do one thing, then he comes back from space and like woo, all of life is like changed. I'm
But
like,
it is
that's scary.
beautiful.
Planet
Like
is
the
gorgeous.
ending is
Oh, I
beautiful.
can't.
It is, yeah.
The ending is like
Maybe I'll-
I think that is the better version of like a 2001. I think that it's basically
Oh, yeah,
everything
but
good about
you can't-
2001.
You can't deny that movie. I mean,
that
that
doesn't
Nolan
exist.
that wouldn't exist
it
without
doesn't
2001.
exist at
Also,
all,
I
but
think
it feels like it was a. To me, it feels like a modern generation's version of a 2001, where it's like got all the weird stuff that you want. It's a little more palatable for a modern generation, but it's also got the same aesthetic to some large extent of like what that movie felt like. It's got the robot. It's got all the kind of stuff. I don't know.
love that robot.
Yeah, it's got maybe one of the
No.
best sci-fi robots.
Hal? Are you talking about Hal or SARS?
the big fridge robot
whatever
from
the
Interstellar.
Fridge robot. It's SARS, yeah.
SARS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know that. I think 2001 actually is. We talked about this on the podcast too, because we did a Kubrick series where we went through all of them. I think 2001 is actually the start of modern movies. Like I don't think. I think 2001 is the first movie to be like, hey guys, this is movies now.
I mean, technologically speaking,
Technologically,
Yeah.
storytelling, the epicness of
and the
it,
production value of it.
yeah, all of it. Like, you know, what is there before 2001 Space Odyssey?
Wizard of Oz.
I mean, yeah, of course.
But
you
how
know,
many?
but-
How long before? You know, that was like 20 years before.
No, well,
Oz was 43?
40 years.
Oz was 38 or 39.
1938.
Oh wow!
1939,
Okay,
yeah.
so even more.
This
so.
is 60s or 70s?
2001 was like 64, I
Yeah,
think.
it's before we
So-
actually went to the moon. So it's
Yeah, I think it was 64.
64.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
So
it's
30 years.
Yeah.
Or more than 30.
And in between, between those. Also, I watched that. I guess it had to be Mr. Sunday movies. It had to be Sunday. It had to be their Wizard of Oz stuff. No, it was a Technicolor thing.
Oh, cool.
About how they filmed it, the transition from color or from
black and white
black
color.
Yeah. And they painted her. I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. I was like, that is the coolest way to handle the that transition period. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
I think back then the contrast and the filters were not existent yet, so they had to do everything in
or they would have to cut them out. Yeah.
Actually, maybe you're right. Wizard of Oz wasn't a hit when it came out. Maybe you are.
Was it
right.
not?
No, people didn't see it. Yeah,
it
really only got big that and
Return to Oz.
I think
The
Wizard of
greatest
Oz
movie ever made.
and the Jimmy Stewart one. It's not.
Oh, It's a Wonderful Life.
I think It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah, it wasn't a hit either.
Yeah. Okay, then that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, they both weren't hits, but they both came on TV.
Yeah.
Once a year, just because they needed something to do for the holidays. Every TV show was taking breaks or whatever.
Well, in the case of It's a Wonderful Life, because it wasn't a popular movie, the rights were so cheap,
right,
that they could just run it on TV for nothing
forever,
and then it became.
And then
classic.
it got into that cultural zeitgeist. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. But with 2001, it was it did become a hit while it was in theaters, but not at first because everybody thought it was slow. But then college students started going to it late at night.
Yeah,
smoking weed and going to see it, and then it all of a sudden. That's the thing now. You can't really do that. You can't have a movie in theaters for a couple of months and then pick up traction. It's if a movie has sometimes a movie has one bad weekend, it's gone.
Yeah, I mean, look at Joker. Joker was in there, a month and a half or something like that? And that's a Joker sequel, yeah. And that's a huge movie. Yeah,
I'm surprised it was even there for that long.
I know,
yeah, we didn't see it.
Oh, I just watched it. That is a wild movie.
Is it good? Would you recommend?
Well, I think it also depends on the way you see the character. Because not Todd Phillips, the character,
character. At least the director.
When the first movie came out, it had the way the character was perceived and all his struggles and everything, and then for him to become the Joker because of the societal struggles and personal, emotional, mental, and all of them. The ending was kind of a shocker, and then the second one. Let's say if it's a graph, let's take it mathematically, the plot of the first movie kind of goes all the way up at the end, and then it's you're there because he's at the end of the movie he's the guy who is electrifying the poop people in Gotham.
Yeah.
And then the second one kind of starts from there, and then it just slowly goes down, and then I don't know. I'll
say one thing, one sentence to get y'all to watch the movie. If this sentence doesn't sway you, nothing else in the movie is going to. Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker in a courtroom does a Foghorn Leghorn impression.
Yeah.
All right, I'll watch it. That's enough to convince me. Yeah. That's dumb enough.
In a courtroom, a full on Foghorn Leghorn impression.
That's dumb enough to get my attention. Okay. Yeah, we didn't go see it, and we have the monthly movie pass.
Yes. I didn't see it until it just came out on streaming. Yeah.
I don't think it was theater worthy. I mean, if you take a lot of movies these days, they're not theater worthy anymore because of the budget they have for marketing. They just put it in theaters. But I think Joker, you can wait for the second part. You can wait for the streaming. I think it is.
It should be out. I think.
Yeah,
it's
out.
I think it's out.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So. Yeah,
I might watch it. You know, a movie that also did what Joker, you're explaining, kind of goes up and it kind of stops right there at that climax, but does it right before the climax is the newest Into the Spider-Verse, whatever, Across the Spider-Verse. I was so disappointed walking out of that movie because I walked out and I was like, well, that was half a movie. I get that it was a full movie. But there was the climax being the fight against the other spider people wasn't climactic enough, and they were building up. They spent the final 10 minutes and they were
because the movie wasn't really about Miles until the end.
Yeah, exactly. But it wasn't really about Gwen. I mean, it was, but then it like switched to Miles, and then it was back to Gwen. So there wasn't ever a real like kind of main character that we were following through the whole thing. It's supposed to be Gwen, but we go back to Miles for such a chunk of it. You know,
Opinion.
I don't know.
Opinion.
No, because I love those movies, and then we went to go and see it, and then like I remember sitting in the movie theater, and I remember being like, oh my gosh, so we still have more of the movie left. And then it was like, boom. And I was like, what the fuck was that? Like, we waited for so long. I get it. Like, it takes time.
I love, I rated that movie 4.5 stars out of 5 because I, like, that half a star, won't, like, it'll only go to 5 stars if the next one is really good.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But, like, spoilers if you haven't seen it. The way they do the twist of where you realize he's in another universe at the end was so brilliant. It's like one of my favorite things.
The slow pause when his uncle walks in and then him realizing.
Yes, it was such.
And I like Spider-Punk. He's great. He's so good in that movie, but like he's better than he ever is in the comics, like by a landslide. Yeah. But and so is Miles, actually. They're everybody's better in those movies than they've ever been in the comics. Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah, it felt like because it was only like part of a movie, it wasn't,
And we should have had the other part already. They were like, it's coming.
A lot of things happen, right?
They're never gonna make that
because there was a strike after.
It's like it's never gonna happen. It feels so.
I mean, they have to. I mean,
it feels so distant.
They have
will
Craven
make it.
sequels to make.
Yeah,
is there a second one
coming
out?
They're doing TV shows.
That's the last of Sony.
Nick Cage, Spider-Man Noir.
Okay. Yep.
I do want to jump in on the Spider-Verse thing. I have a hard time judging a movie's merits off an ending. I don't really care. But that's me as a movie watcher. I don't care about plot. I don't care about story. I don't care about any of that stuff because to me all of it is so. It's so there's the structure of it all, and whatever happens within that structure for me, it's whatever. Yeah. The fact that you can say that Into the Spider-Verse was a step forward for American animation, and like a huge step forward, like a leap forward. It's like wow, and then the second one is a step beyond that. Is what blew my socks off. I mean, I'm like, how did they find a way to improve their animation style, improve their art style, and still tell an effective story? An effective, like whatever you want to gauge is like half of. I mean, there are emotionally, like you're talking about the twist and everything like that.
Yeah,
you feel emotionality during those moments. Like, how are they able to take a step forward, like that far? Because there's nothing touching Into the Spider-Verse, in terms of like animation style.
For sure.
The Spider-Punk, whenever you see Spider-Punk's story, the animation they did for him, like you see it's a cutout of all the. It's like it's like a collage.
Notes,
so good.
Speaking of animation, what's the Wild Robots animation? Might be the best animation I've ever seen.
I've heard it's
Wild Robots great.
It is so good, and I feel like
I loved it, but I saw
spoilers,
it probably.
I haven't seen it.
I won't spoil. No. I probably shouldn't have seen it. I cried the whole.
Oh yeah, Jack.
Isn't that good though? Doesn't that, like for me, if I'm crying, it's like a sign that was like.
It is.
You fell in love with the character.
Oh my god,
like,
it's so perfect.
And everything.
Well, and I've never been more thankful for our movie pass until then because we go on Mondays, so it was an empty theater. So like, it's just Chance and I, and all you can hear is me like.
My whole family, my girlfriend and all them, they were all weeping, like I texted my mom after. I'm like, I love you.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm sorry.
Wait, that was for Wild Robot?
Yeah, because it's like the mother story and everything. I saw at River Oaks, I saw Flow, that one about the cat.
Oh my god, is it good?
It's good. It's really good. It's aptly named. A lot of it.
The cat?
Yeah, it's about the cat in the
silent,
world.
isn't
It's all silent. There's no words. It's all animal noises. There's no humans in it at all. It's like a fable. Right?
And that came out this year?
It came out this year. It's like
it got nominated, didn't it? For
a bunch of stuff. Oscars on art, but it's like a Terrence Malick movie, but like it's a Terrence Malick movie. But in the terms that it's like meditative, or a Tarkovsky or something like that, where it's meditative and it just allows the characters to live in the moment, but it is like a fable, and it is the camera is so diegetic. because it's all, I mean, flow, as I was saying, it's aptly named, it's flow, like, it's flowing, the camera is moving in and out of perspectives and everything like that, and it's very good. It's very, and it's got it's got, like, kind of good, it's got good legs, it's, in terms of, like, its messaging, it's got, like, good legs that it's standing on, and it's, like, what benefits some, it doesn't benefit others, and everything like that. And there's environmentalism, and that made me sad, because I'm like, man, like, when climate change comes for us all, and the icebergs melt, and everything starts happening, how are my pets gonna respond to that? And that made me very sad.
Yeah.
That made me really sad.
To swim like this.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I'm like, what is my dog gonna do if he sees a giant, tsunami coming towards him, and then the water is just rising beyond levels that he can't comprehend.
Yeah.
So that made me sad. All right, anyway.
So speaking of 2024, like, we're at the end of 2024. I feel like it's been a very strange year for movies. For me personally, but I also I feel like I just haven't been going to the movies as much. I worked a lot more this year in terms of just my day job, I had to work a lot more and didn't have as much free time. But what, for each of you, has the year been like for movies, and like what of your favorite, what's been your movie experience this year?
A year in movies.
2024. Have y'all seen My Old Ass?
Yeah,
No.
funny.
No.
Yeah, it's a
haven't
great
seen it.
movie. Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah.
And I saw it in theaters. That was really
I didn't
good.
see it in theater. I saw it at home.
So check that out, 2024 movie.
Yeah,
stands out?
I guess I'll start it. 2024, I guess, for me, has been polarizing. I've seen some of my favorite stuff I've seen in years and years and years. I mean, we got a Sean Baker movie this year, George Miller, Jane Schoenbrunn. But a lot of the movies towards the bottom are stuff that I really despise, and I don't like hating movies. But I guess in terms of my favorite movie I've seen this year, it's maybe between two. It's probably between Anora, because I love Sean Baker. But I think I can't get past I Saw the TV Glow, the Jane Schoenbrunn film. They are an incredible filmmaker. They did one of my favorite horror movies, We're All Going to the World's Fair. And I Saw the TV Glow is just an expansion on that. It's Lynchian. It's this whole idea. There's a lot to I think it's, there's great trans messaging, because they are trans director, and but there's so much to take away from it about just the feelings that you can have of being scared of growing up, and how fast time can move. I mean, there's like an incredible sequence towards the end where, I mean, the main character just talks about is years turn to days, and then the next time you see the main character, they're old and gray, and they have that aging on them and everything like that, and just feeling kind of trapped inside yourself. And it's personal horror, which is the coolest thing to me. It's personal horror with surrealism, and then also incorporating the ideas of lost media. And it's got the best soundtrack of the year.
Is it the same person that did It Follows, or?
No. They didn't do It Follows. That was he does have another movie coming out. That guy did It Follows, and then Under the Silver Lake, and then he has a dinosaur movie coming out, I think. Nicholas Winding Friend or something like that. No, but I Saw the TV Glow I think that impacted me the most in terms of emotionally. I think it looked the best out of any movie this year. And yeah, I love it's kind of just got everything I love. It's got lost media. I used to just watch on YouTube those little Local 48 videos where it's these little horror shorts basically, and they're all told through news broadcasts or something like that. That idea that it all feels real. It's got lost media. It's got diverse messaging and everything that you can take away from that. It's got really, really great performances. Justice Smith, who was in Dungeons and Dragons, he was the little wizard dude.
I think of him from The Get Down.
He was also in The Get Down. Yeah,
I don't know if y'all have ever seen The Get Down, but I
I
fuck with The Get Down.
Yeah, he's
the guy from
terrific.
The Magical American Society.
Oh yes. He's from that one as well.
Yeah.
That one came out this year. But yeah,
I forgot about that movie.
I Saw the TV Glow. terrific, and it's got a really, really good soundtrack. And there's this moment in it that feels like Twin Peaks. There's a moment in a bar where Phoebe Bridgers and Sloppy Jane are singing, and it feels exactly like out of Twin Peaks when they're at the Double R Diner. And I'm like, this is incredible. I mean, like, who else could do this? So yeah, I Saw the TV Glow is my number one of the year.
Heck yeah.
Oh, cool.
Who else?
I think I'll go. When it comes to movies, I guess for me, as being a filmmaker, I kind of made my whole thing about like movies, and sometimes it's just you will reach a point where you're burned out, like you don't want to talk about movies or like watch movies at all. But because for me, I guess a lot of movies that were being marketed or publicized, whenever I go to the theater and then watch them, I feel like maybe the point you're going through when you're marketing it is not the same point I'm getting. Like I get disappointed because it was not to the expectation I had. But there are some movies where I would watch them with not having any expectation, and they would have like very low marketing done, and I would get super surprised by even the message of the movie is, or the concept, or just by the filmmaking technique of it. And one movie as such for me is Perfect Days. It's Wim Wenders, right?
Yeah, Wim Wenders.
It's Wim Wenders. It is so pleasant to watch a movie where nothing is happening, but you have, at the end of the movie, you feel like you have experienced life in slow motion. I mean, it's not even slow motion. It's set perfect pace.
I was about to say, it's like, it's nothing happens, but it's an absolutely perfect pace. Like, it's incredible.
I'm gonna spoil it for people whoever's listening.
I don't think you can spoil that movie.
It's a life about a guy in Tokyo, and he's cleaning toilets, and also it's about the societal perception of the act, like the job too, I guess. If you hear anybody talking about, oh, this guy cleans toilets, no matter what kind of position he is in, what kind of person he is in, even if you don't have met him before, your mind would perceive him in a different way. But that movie portrays it from his perspective, and then we see life from his perspective. And I know he has so many other things happening around him, but he has this routine developed over years, and he's perfectly in a line with the routine. Like, he doesn't have any complaints about it. He's not sad about it, yet you cannot say he's not happy about it. And then other things are happening too in the movie, like his family comes back, but I don't know, like I think to summarize, the one thing is every day he takes a lunch and he takes a snap of the nature he's sitting in while he's taking a lunch, and then he dreams about it. And he dreams about it every night, and it's such a surreal moment that we also as humans can experience. Because whenever we dream, if you're lucid dreaming or any kind of dreaming, you don't know what is actually happening. What is the beginning of the dream? What is the end of the dream? You just remember the middle part, and you only remember the people, sometimes not even the location or surrounding you're in. And it's the physical depiction of a dream in the movie, which is, I guess, in all the years of cinema, the perfect depiction that I can remember of. And that is one of the movies that I like. And the other one I watched recently is, I don't think any one of you would know of this. It's an Indian movie. It's called Pushba 2.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. Pushba 2 is really good, yeah.
It's I was looking forward to this movie for 2 years because I saw the first one. Because I also grew up watching both the director and the actor's movies, because they make movies from where I'm from. And the director, he always makes movies about people that are not normal in any sense. Because he made a movie about a guy who has a hearing disability, but the way he puts that disability of that character into the plot, and also he made other movies where this guy is kind of neurotic, but the only thing he can feel is love towards one person, and that's the whole plot of the movie. And this one, the Pushba, is about a guy who came from literal dirt, and then he rose to the level of a kingmaker. Like he would decide who's going to be the next president or like the senator of the state he lives in, just because he didn't get a photograph from the present senator. Like he has that kind of power behind him, and all because of the attitude that he has towards his life. Like he would never bow down, or he would never take no shit from nobody, all because of the faith he has in himself. And that is the whole plot of the movies that he's making. And I think they're going to make another one. There's going to be a third one coming up. And besides the plot of the movie, it's the journey of the person. There are moments in the movie where watching it made me cry, because I think it's, as a filmmaker, you have the ability to show that this person is lacking something, and then the journey is that he's trying to achieve whatever he's lacking, no matter the money or the relationship or the fame or whatever. And you see the final moment that he got that tiny little thing or big thing, whatever that is. And then you see the actor react to how the character should have when he gets the thing. And then there's this one scene, like the entire movie is beside the point, and then there's one scene where he realizes that he has a family at the end, because he always had like nobody around him. And he finds out that he's gonna have a son, and because he thought that the son is not gonna have any extended family, and when the family comes to him and say like, we are here for you, and that's when he realizes he's gonna have a son, and he just literally crumbles and like falls down crying, because he now knows that even though he will die tomorrow, he has brought the family together for his son and his wife. And him just crying would give you the entire point of it. And watching it on screen, it took 6 long hours for him to get to that point. But I think the point of any film is that one scene has to make sense because of the other 6 hours.
The movie is 6 hours long?
No, it's 2 parts. The first movie is 3 hours long.
I was like,
sorry. Because even in the first movie, he wouldn't get the family. And then the end of second movie, he gets the approval of family. And him just, like, he just falls down, like, crying like a little baby. I mean, I didn't mean it in like a bad sense. But also you see him as the guy who wouldn't take any shit from anybody. And to see that kind of a powerful person just crumble, knowing that his son, who's not born yet, will have a family. It's beautiful to look at. You know, and the director and the actor brought it together. And that was one of the best moments of watching a movie in theater for me. In 2024.
That's awesome.
That
is
awesome.
It streaming now?
I think it will be in a month.
Okay. Is it still in theaters?
Yeah,
it's in theaters right now. Like, going back to the point of the movies are not staying in theater as long as before. It has been the way nowadays, because when I was growing up, we would know a movie is a hit or a flop by seeing how many days it's been in theater. we would say,
Yeah.
oh, this movie was run for 100 days in a theater.
Yeah.
Then it's a hit because people are still going after 100 days. But nowadays, nobody's quantifying the win or like if it's a hit or not of a movie by how many days it's staying in a theater. They're quantifying it by how much money is it making even before it's being released, by the rights it's selling to streaming platforms and the theaters and everything.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be in on Netflix or Amazon
Okay.
in a month.
So did you watch both parts in one day?
No, the first part came out in 2022,
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
and the second part is 2 years later.
Okay.
And I think they're gonna make one more, the final chapter, maybe another two more years.
Okay.
But it is right now the most expensive. No, not the most expensive. What do you call it when the movie is sold for a lot of bucks?
The most
Highest grossing.
Expensive.
I don't.
like you mean that it got picked up like
So-
distribution, like
Yeah,
somebody picked it
yeah.
up and bought it.
Because the movie is made with 500 crore rupees, which is, I want to say, some $1 million. I can't do the math right now.
Yeah.
But even before the movie was released, it was sold to, its rights were sold to the streaming platforms and the distribution rights and all of that. They made time and a half of the budget before the movie even came out.
Wow. That's impressive.
And after that, there's going to be ticket sales, which is going to amount to a lot of the budget they're going to come into. So it's before the even movie came out to the theaters, they made double than what they put into the movie.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. That's
Yeah.
impressive.
Pushba 2.
Pushba 2.
Who's next?
I can go. Okay, so like this year, it doesn't matter when the movie came out or just as long as we saw it this year.
That's a fun contingency.
Well, we can talk about your favorite thing you saw this year that wasn't from this year, but was there anything from this year that really stood out to you? Maybe
Yeah.
Wild Robot? Or...
Yeah, actually, I was gonna say if it's from this year, I have one for both, so
Yeah.
that worked. Yeah, I think the Wild Robot, like,
Yeah.
legitimately, like, I mean, we saw a lot of movies this year. We have like the pass, so we go like at least every
But
Monday.
it's like AMC
Like,
Pass or...
it's through Regal.
Oh,
It's
Regal.
the
Yeah,
it's
the same
closer,
thing.
but yeah.
Yeah.
You go to Silverado?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 Ices every Monday. I get 3 blue raspberry ices.
Do they have the VIP one over there? That.
VIP one.
Oh, dude, you guys go to Silver. You guys got to go to Regal
Uh-huh.
on over here at Edwards Marquis. They have a VIP lounge. It's very cheap for members because I'm a member, Regal member. We're all kings and queens
Gang,
here.
gang.
And so no, normally it's like $30, but you get in the seats, reclined seats, you have a table and everything like that. It's unlimited popcorns and drinks and icy. It sounds like I work for Regal.
Ours works for that, but I don't know if it's the same.
Yeah,
Wait,
no, but we
where
get
is this?
discounts.
I'm going now.
Ours is
Edwards Marquis.
ours is if you're a member, it's $10. Unlimited popcorn, ices, and
That's
drinks.
worth it, yeah.
No, literally, we go in there, we buy it, and like it'll be like $30 because we go. It's always whenever I go to the movies, it's always me, Jackie, my girlfriend, and then her mom. We all three go together all the time. And her mom will get just 2 bags of popcorn, 2 ices, 2 drinks. Doesn't have to get up at all, and just takes whatever she doesn't use, takes it home, and everything like that. So.
Fair.
Regal VIP, get on it. And if
Yeah.
somehow Regal's listening, I will go around the country and proselytize.
Yeah, for sure. You need
Sponsor
a
this
new.
Brought to you
Please
by-
sponsor
They
us.
need that like AMC intro, like
Then a Kidman thing.
Yeah,
It's just me.
yeah,
yelling
it's just
at
you.
them.
Yeah.
Anyway, you were
Better
talking
than
about the
that
Wild
sign.
Robot.
Oh yeah, no, I think the Wild Robot. I think like, I don't know. I'm a sucker for like mom stuff. Like me and my mom are like very very close. So
Yeah.
like watching that, I had that, and then like, I don't know, just thinking about like the time in like all of our lives, I was like, damn, this hits really really hard.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know. I feel like the animation was great, the story was great, and like, I haven't heard yet, which I'm sure there's somebody out there that like does not like it, but everyone I've talked to has been like,
Yeah,
no,
I feel like it's one of those, like, I've heard a few people say that it's really, really good, but it hasn't, it's not like in the zeitgeist or like, I don't know. Like, but I feel like that was kind of this year. Like, was there anything that stood out that everybody was like, you have to see this
Dune
movie?
2.
Dune 2,
Yeah.
Everyone was big on Dune 2.
Yeah, that was gonna be my favorite movie of the year.
Is it?
Yo,
that was your favorite watch?
Oh yeah, I think it's better than the first Dune movie.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
it's.
for sure.
I'm a Dune hater.
Well,
Yeah, she's a Dune
Same
hater.
here.
I love it. I thought
Yeah.
it was great. I think the conversion from digital to film to digital again is perfect. I think no complaints at all whatsoever.
I guess if you're watching it as a filmmaker, you would love it because of the production value and all of it. But if you're not interested in the filmmaking aspect of it, okay, I'm gonna be the bad guy here. I cannot see Timothée Chalamet, like skinny guy, be the.
I thought it was Timothée Chalamet's best performance.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, it was. But until the point where the scene where, he has that commanding voice.
Right.
That is a really awesome scene.
Oh my god, it's so good.
It's so good.
It's a fake language. It's not
a fake
anything.
language,
He's saying
yeah.
gibberish and he's doing that. That's incredible.
What's the name of the guy who plays Zendaya's father? Javier Bardem, right?
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's awesome. He's doing
Javier
Jovia the Greek.
Bardem's reaction is what makes that scene even more
Yeah.
powerful. It's just, he doesn't believe he's Lisan al-Gaib until that moment, right? Like, he has doubts. It's not that he doesn't believe.
I don't
No,
know.
he's pretty strong on
He was
it.
pretty hard on it the
But
whole
as
time.
soon as the the commanding, and then he says shut up, and then everybody just calms down, and
Well, I
he has
think-
this.
Sorry to interrupt you. I think it's like the Timothée Chalamet doesn't believe that he is until that moment.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't believe in himself until that moment, or he doesn't accept.
He doesn't accept
the power.
But at that moment, it's a powerful scene. But also, like we discussed like earlier, like how Kubrick's movies go.
Yeah.
What's the name of the director again?
Denis
Villeneuve, right?
Yeah.
His movies are so slow for me. It's a 2.5 hours movie, right?
Yeah.
Dune 2.
I can see that.
Visually, it's a beautiful movie, but how much?
I was in for
Also,
the whole ride.
it's the
I don't know.
the-
I was in for it the whole time.
Yeah, I was too. So the
I-
first one I think, is a lot slower. The second one
Yeah.
seemed like the pace was like boom, boom, boom,
That
boom.
honestly, the scene where he comes in and he like starts yelling his name,
Yeah.
it gets me every single time.
Did
The
you
final-
know anything about the story?
Yeah,
before?
I read a chunk of the first book, and then I went, you know what, YouTube, and then I watched. I know generally the main storyline across like all of the ones written by Frank, but not by his son.
Okay.
So
You know what?
a
I
good
think-
chunk of it.
I think I have to backtrack whatever I said, because listening to people who have actually read the Dune books, because they know the lore and all of it.
Yeah.
If you talk to them, they would like how you gave me the points last time we talked
Yeah.
about Dune. The lore actually makes a lot of more sense.
It makes it way more interesting to
way
watch
more
the
interesting
movie, yeah.
too. I myself haven't read any of the books, and as a person who hasn't, and me watching the movies like first and second, to me it felt like a kind of a drag. But also, if you have known the lore, it would make you even more excited in anticipation of what's going to happen next and how these people are going to bring that book into life.
Yeah.
The same goes for me for DC and Marvel movies, because I have read comics of all the characters that they're bringing out. Now I know what's gonna come up and how they're gonna perceive it. But if I haven't seen any of those, read any of the comics, then I would just think, oh, it's a superhero movie. He's just flying in.
I also
flying in
think
the
that
air.
like the sci-fi concepts, the way that it was approached, I think Villeneuve was like, I think he might be the best sci-fi director currently working. I think he's really, really great because nobody else is really doing it, and nobody's given that budget unless they're like Ron Howard making a new Star Wars movie, or you know what I mean. Like it's
Ronnie
like
Howard.
You know,
I love Ron Howard.
We were watching Grinch.
I hate the Grinch, but I love Ron Howard. That is his worst.
Okay,
movie.
so here's I've been prepping for this final thing. I wanted to make sure that Dune came out this past year.
Oh yeah, I have my
so
list
I
too.
wanted to make sure about that, and then other movies that I actually I watched. Yeah, I know the list. That I watched that I really liked. I watched Creator for the first time this year, so I don't know if it came out this year. I think it came out.
I think it was last year.
Last year, yeah.
Doesn't count.
Perfect Days came out last year too.
This was last year too, but I saw it this year.
Yeah, the Creator was probably my favorite new to me one. I also rewatched all of the Planet of the Apes movies this year. So I've seen
all the originals, or
all the originals, and all of the new ones.
Okay.
All
You
the
have them on
preparation for the
VHS
newest
too.
one.
There's like
Yeah.
10.
Had
10
you
of them,
seen them
right?
all before?
I've seen up until I thought I had seen them all, and then I watched the first two, and I went, "Yeah, I know these." And the third one started, I was like, "I know a little bit," and then it was like, "I have no idea about the rest of those." So,
What was your favorite?
I like the fifth one. I like the last one of the original.
What's the
trilogy.
name of it?
Okay.
Original series, Battle for the Planet of the Apes. I think I really like. So I like the first one a lot. Obviously, I don't. The second one's okay. It's
Are you talking
whatever.
about the Caesar saga or the
No,
original?
The
Originals.
Yeah.
Okay.
The first one's the first one I like a lot because obviously it's Planet of the Apes, right? It's like it's great no matter what. The second one is okay. It's basically the same story again, but it's beneath, and then they blow the planet up. Sorry, spoilers for a movie that came out a ridiculous.
It came out like 60 years ago.
Fair,
So you need
yeah,
to
I
know.
think this is fair game. The third one where they go back in time, I think is the worst of that original series. But I know like a couple people who like that one a lot.
Tim Burton one was the adaptation for the third.
I didn't rewatch the Tim Burton one. Sorry, I
doesn't
didn't
count.
rewatch the Tim Burton one.
It doesn't count.
That one's not a part of it. That's a
Yeah.
remake, kind of the original Planet of the Apes movie.
Okay.
And the fourth one is Caesar, like the old,
Prequel, kind of. Yeah. Before.
Well, the originals.
the original
Oh,
movie.
But yes, they are.
There's
prequels.
Caesar in the original movies.
Technically.
Really?
Yeah. So the people who go back in time,
Uh-huh.
their kid is Caesar. And so he gets
Shit.
born into like a circus, and then he starts an ape uprising in the fourth one, and then the fifth one, he has a whole
There's
society.
5 original.
He has
Yeah.
a society of like apes and stuff like that. It basically gets back to what the first one is. And then the new ones are just Caesar's story. It's just the three leading up to Caesar, and then the newest one is I don't know his name.
Oh, it's
You
wait,
one
which
that came
one?
out?
The newest one. I don't remember.
Oh.
I don't remember what his name is.
The main kid?
Yeah.
Noah? Is it
I
Noah?
think
Is
it's
it
Noah.
Noah? Yeah, it's
Look,
Noah.
But it's like
I got my
Noah.
letterbox
Yeah.
pulled up.
I think it's all right.
It's
I think it's the
pretty okay.
worst
Yeah.
of the newest set,
Yeah.
like the 4 that have come out that have
But
recently.
it was good. It was okay.
It was okay.
It was
I mean,
okay. Yeah, it's-
I liked it. I always liked those movies.
I can't
too.
hate it. Like
Yeah.
look,
I mean, you're comparing.
Smart
you're,
monkeys.
you're comparing them
smart
to the-
monkeys. I'm
yeah.
fine with it. I'm good with it. I don't care what's going on. It's smart monkeys. But with that said, it's my War for the Planet of the Apes and Dawn. Is that the second
So
one?
there's
It's-
I think
it's-
second is Dawn of the Planet.
Okay,
of the
Dawn
Apes.
and War are the best Planet of the Apes
Yeah.
movies ever made. So it's hard to like. They're coming off
Yeah.
of the best two
But
of them.
exactly.
So it's
Well,
William
the
H.
one-
Macy is in the third one, so that's awesome. He's
He's in the.
Oh, yeah.
He's.
I mean,
wait,
in the fourth one. Sorry,
Yeah, the fourth
In
one,
the
yeah.
fourth
Yeah,
one,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
the guy that gets captured. So
But-
that's awesome.
but it's
He's
not
in
a
Boogie
bad
Nights.
movie. It's just the one that you're probably least likely to
Is
rewatch.
he playing
Yeah,
a monkey
but
or
then like
he's
Woody
like-
Harrelson's in the
Yeah,
third
right.
one,
Yeah.
and,
Woody
that,
Harrelson
and
is
he's
good.
great in that movie.
Yeah.
Well,
The-
Kaylee, what was your favorite one that wasn't released this year that you
Yeah.
saw?
Oh, Strawberry Mansion.
Oh yeah,
I've
heard of that. I haven't
Okay,
seen
I
it.
haven't
You should
seen
see
it. Can you
Strawberry
tell me a
Mansion.
little bit
You would
about
like
it?
it,
Yeah.
actually.
I'm sure I
So
would. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not. It's complicated. The summed
reveal
up.
anything.
I won't reveal anything. Well, I don't
Oh, yeah, this has been
know.
on my list for a while.
Can I not? I don't know how to not reveal it though.
Do you want me to explain?
Where did
it?
y'all watch it?
No, I got
Oh,
this.
we
Okay.
paid for it.
Oh, okay.
We bought
Oh.
it somewhere.
I'm
'cause
trying
we
to
were
think
like,
about
we
what the
wanna
big
watch
reveal
it.
is. Okay, hold on, give me just a second. Okay, wait.
How
I can
old
do
is the
this, I
movie?
can do this.
Do you like
It's
2021? It says
2021.
right
Oh.
here. Yeah. 2020. She was on it. Yeah. You go for it.
Yeah, so like basically how it starts is it's in the future. I think it's like 2030 something, 35 or something. And this guy goes to this lady's house and he's like a tax something. What's it called? Auditor. And that was not the word I was looking for, but that is the right word. He's a tax auditor, and basically your dreams are taxed. And she's an older lady, and you used to take your dreams and you would upload them to a VHS tape, and then they changed it to where you have to upload them digitally. So every night you have to like upload your dreams to like this docking station. And she has not been doing that. So he has to, okay. So he has to come to her house, and she's like, here's my dream library. And it's like literally this whole room filled with like VHS tapes. And he has to sit there and audit her dreams. And like, if you have a dream and like there's like a unicorn, for example, in there, that is taxed. So like everything in your dream.
It's like copyright taxing?
Well,
it's just like you have to purchase this thing. Basically, that's a taxed thing. So
That's
like,
awesome.
Don't think too much about it.
Yeah, you just have to kind of like
just critically about all that.
It's like a dystopian.
Yeah,
weird. Just go.
It's
That's
a weird
wild.
movie, but it's really
Actually,
it's really
the movie's
beautiful.
very weird. Yeah.
Wow,
But
It's a capitalistic dystopian.
Yeah,
dream media.
It literally is a capitalist dystopia in that movie. Yeah, that's like the best way to explain it.
yeah, so then like he's having to like watch her like dreams, and like throughout the process you get to see what his dreams are like too. So he's
Because
like dreaming.
he's watching her dreams, they affect his dreams.
No, you're just watching.
No, you're just kind of watching. So like you are watching him watch her dreams, but then he goes to sleep and you get to see his dreams. Her dreams are like beautiful, whimsical, like magical, like a dream is.
Yeah.
You watch his dream and it's a pink room and there's some guy that comes and knocks on his door, but it's advertisements. So like the whole conspiracy is like the government is putting ads in your dreams so that you'll go to like the big thing is like, obviously I think it's like a KFC dig, truthfully, but it's like this fried chicken like bucket, and then like everyone's eating the same thing. And it's like basically like they're finding a way to like advertise to you even in your sleep, so you'll go spend
The
money
brain
on this
chip
specific
from
thing.
Elon Musk.
Yeah, right. So then like it's like this whole thing, but like by the like there's just like this mysterious person who keeps appearing in her dreams, and you don't know who it is. And then like throughout time, like he kind of like, I won't spoil the end, but like throughout time he kind of, because he's meeting her throughout her life.
Yeah.
So he gets to see these different versions of her, even though he knows like the old lady version of her and like who she is. He gets to see her in a different way, and he kind of starts to fall in love with her, but it's her dream self.
Whoa.
But it is like a beautiful movie.
This sounds
like,
way up my alley.
Wow.
Yeah, you would probably
It's
love
like
it.
a really dirt cheap version of Everything Everywhere. Like you get to see a bunch of different iterations of dream type things and like all this kind of wild. It's very surreal in that same. But it's dirt cheap. It was made for like $5 and a shoestring.
It was a $20 million budget.
That's $5 and a shoestring.
Yeah, but it is really pretty, and I actually was talking to Chance about this earlier. But it gives me the same kind of feeling I got whenever I watched Eternal Sunshine. Whenever I was younger, it's very like it's hard to explain, but it's that same kind of feeling where like, you know, whenever you tell someone, like, you go to tell them about Eternal Sunshine and you're like, I can tell you about it, or I can just show it to you.
Right,
you know, like you're not gonna
don't think
get
about
it
it too much.
Yeah,
If you think about it too much, you're gonna hate it.
Yeah, but you have to come in like and just because it was one of those weird things where like I guess Chance had asked people for like weird movie recommendations, and someone recommended that, and we watched it, and it was
Eternal Sunshine?
like
no
Strawberry Mansion.
Yeah.
And we sat down and we watched it, and at first I was like, okay, we're gonna go in, we're gonna watch a weird movie, and it's gonna be done. Like, and then we were watching it, and I was like, this is actually probably my favorite. Like,
awesome.
My favorite movie of all time is The Perks of Being a Wallflower, and that, like, it didn't trump it. Don't get me wrong, it did not. I don't know that anything would, but it got very close to like that, and that was really cool for me. So.
Also, I wanted to take the time. Jackie was supposed to be here with us today, and I happen to know her favorite movie of the year. Her too. She really recently loved Wicked, and I think Wicked was a big defier of expectations for her. She claims she's not a musical person, but a lot of her favorite movies are musicals. So she really liked Wicked, and we have been listening to Wicked nonstop. Wicked really surprised me as well. Wicked, the second time I saw it was I was like fully on board. I cried. Cynthia Erivo was great. But Jackie's favorite movie of the year has been Lisa Frankenstein.
I was gonna talk about that. I forgot about that movie.
Lisa Frankenstein. It's terrific. It's so fun. It's so pulpy. But it's not trashy pulpy. It's just fun. It's fun in the way that a Diablo Cody film, like a written film, is. Also, Zelda Williams directed it. It's her first one. Robin Williams is a kid.
Yep.
And I figured the best way to do that, to illustrate how Jackie felt about it, was to read her Letterboxd review of it. She gave it 5 stars and a heart. Outfits rock, music rocks, jokes rock, new favorite movie for real. And so,
short and sweet.
Yeah, Lisa Frankenstein was really a lot of fun. And she's right. It's got great set design. It's got this great dream sequence that basically inspired her to write a short film. It's got really good music. It's very fun. It's and I think it's a very it's just a sweet movie. And so Lisa Frankenstein.
That movie surprised me.
Yeah, exactly. And it kind of came out of nowhere, and it was really... And another one that came out in that similar instance, it's Your Monster. It's like a less better version of that, but Your Monster was really funny.
Okay, so we tried to go and see it, and...
the one with the werewolf man?
We were gonna go.
Yeah.
They were only playing it in select theaters.
It's a weird studio that I never heard of before, but they have like 3 movies coming out this year. Alpine Summit Studios or something like that. I've literally never heard of it.
I feel like new studios pop up and they're just like, here's the new thing.
But Your Monster was really, really funny. It's got, I don't know if anyone saw Saturday Night. That's another one of my favorites this year. Saturday Night was really a lot of fun. But one of the guys from Saturday Night's in it, and then Melissa Barrera's in it from the new Scream movies and everything like that. And they're both really, really funny. They are both just like effortlessly funny and charming and hunks and hot and and I love them.
I feel like that's how you explain Twisters to me.
Yeah, Twisters is a bunch of hot people running around in the rain.
What's his face?
Rocks. Glenn Powell.
Glenn Powell is really hot.
He's really hot.
It was like all
that scene where
I feel like now I'm remembering all the movies I saw this year.
I mean, what's more?
Twisters this year?
Twisters was this year.
Oh my God, Twisters was this year.
Alien Romulus was this year.
Oh my God, Alien Romulus. Okay. Real fast.
They didn't do their homework. I was ready.
I know, yeah.
Gladiator
real fast.
2
Alien
was
Romulus.
Yeah.
Gladiator 2 was it this year?
Gladiator 2.
Yeah.
Gladiator 2 was really solid.
Deception.
Alien Romulus was great. Prometheus is better. It's still the best alien movie.
Prometheus is better.
Without a doubt.
This is a prequel to Prometheus?
It is.
What's happening?
Well, Prometheus, I think, is a prequel to all of them. This is a sequel-ish
Prometheus is a prequel to life.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think this is a sequel to the first one, if I'm not mistaken, because the android is in it.
No, it's between the first and the second.
Yeah. Like, so it's like a sequel
but
to
it's
the
not,
I thought you said prequel.
Oh, sorry, I
Alien
might have said prequel.
1.5.
It's not David, right?
It's
But it's a different android.
Yeah,
it's not David.
It's from
No, it's the
No, it is David.
It's
No,
Ian
it's not
Holm.
David.
It's Ian Holm from
From the original?
I don't remember. Michael? No.
Michael Fassbender.
No, it's not Michael Fassbender. It's Ian Holm from the first Alien.
From Romulus.
He gets cut in half and all his little milk spills.
Not Prometheus. Not Prometheus, from Romulus.
Okay.
But it's the android from the first movie, from the first Alien. But it was good. Like it was well put together. It's very much Aliens over Alien. Like it's got really good horror. It's the first one that's felt like a horror movie in a while. Because like Prometheus doesn't.
Yeah,
feel like
Fede
a horror
Alvarez
movie.
is good at that.
That's just like
there's moments.
That's
of
a cool
thrill,
sci-fi,
but not like horror.
And it's not like I'm never scared of the big driver guy. Like that's not the scary part of it. The scary part is like what's going on with like it infecting people and all that kind of. That's fun.
The little the spidery thing.
But in Romulus, the spider things are are great. The face huggers, they're awesome. Yeah,
Also,
Romulus was top tier.
From this year, shout out to Furiosa. Furiosa was one of my
yeah.
favorites.
I
That's a
didn't
top
see
three for me.
Furiosa.
I love George
It's
Miller.
pretty good.
I love George Miller. Hitman was a favorite of mine.
That was
I love
good.
Linklater.
I didn't see that either.
Started
Trap
couldn't
Rocks.
finish it.
Does
Trap
it?
with Josh Hartnett. Oh my God,
Wait,
Trap
what's it called?
Trap with the Shyamalan movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, pure
Again,
entertainment.
look, I like
Just
M. Night
like
Shyamalan.
how all Shyamalan movies goes, pretty good plot. Ending is
No, I loved it. I love
Wait,
Trap.
which one was
Rocks.
Trapped?
Trap
one with,
is
Josh
the
Hartnett
concert
or-
movie.
The concert one
Yeah.
where they get okay.
But it's
That's what
pretty
I was
good.
thinking.
The plot is pretty good though.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shyamalan's good at making movies like, what if just a crazy thing happened?
I
tried to get you to go see that one.
Trap
yeah, but there
Rocks.
was a bunch of other stuff out. At the
It was
Yeah,
very
that's
dense
true.
when
It
Trap
was
was
a
out.
dense
But
time.
here,
It's hard.
I liked my review for this one. I wrote.
It was 8.
No, Josh Hartnett is fulfilling a prophecy that wasn't meant for him. This guy is Trip Fontaine. You know, he's supposed to be our beloved character. He's not supposed to be our beloved character actor. He's the hunk and the heartthrob. Yet here he is on a totally different planet from his contemporaries. And I just talked about how I adore Shyamalan, and then it's just pure entertainment. And it's terrific cinematography. It's the guy that did it. I cannot pronounce his name. It is I wish I knew how to say it, but he did a lot of Guadagnino stuff. So Challengers, Call Me by Your Name, Suspiria. He did Uncle Boonmee, Who Can Recall His Past Lives, which is another kind of surrealist, kind of really good one.
That sounds fascinating.
Yeah, he's a really this director. I can't pronounce his name either. I can hardly spell it, but this director has made some really wonderful stuff. Yeah, you can look at it. Yeah, for both y'all. But yeah, Trap. I was real into Trap.
Hundreds of Beavers didn't come out this year, did it?
No, I mean it premiered this year, but it came out technically at film festivals in 2022.
Wow.
And they made it for 4 years or something like that. But Hundreds of Beavers, definitely, I would count that as this year.
It's still going
was really
on
good.
Prime.
I
It's
think
like
they
still like a
re-released
number.
it into theaters.
It's like
for
a number
week.
1 comedy movie on Prime still. Like I checked
It's
like
hilarious,
yesterday.
yeah.
Like it's still like right.
It was
up there.
pretty good. Like it's a silent movie.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's super funny.
Mhm.
The funnier part of Hundreds of Beavers for me is when they're dissecting. It's a beaver.
That sounds right.
He gets the costume right.
I would guess.
It's
yeah.
a raccoon.
It's a raccoon.
It's a raccoon,
Yeah, they dissect
yeah.
the raccoon, and it's whenever you see in movie, and it's a guy with the raccoon costume, but whenever they dissect, open it up, you have the felt heart come out, felt kidneys. It's super funny that, and the funnier part is whenever he goes to the girl. And then the dad is always trying to protect her.
Yeah.
And then they always have a chase sequence happening to the point that the snow melts.
Yeah.
Right?
I liked the wolves a lot. I like the scene where he's with the old whatever trapper, and the dogs all get taken by
yeah.
the wolves.
You
I
see their
really
eyes
liked
in the
that.
woods.
That was probably my favorite part of the whole movie.
This is a bit of a humble brag, but I interviewed those two. I've interviewed the director and the star of it for Hyper Real Film Club.
Is the star the director?
No.
Oh,
But they
okay.
worked on all their stuff together. They did this one called Lake Michigan Monster.
I
but,
know. I have it on
yeah.
my to watch.
It's
list.
but we're all nerds here, and I think it does some good to talk about. The inspiration for Hundred of Beavers was, of course, Looney Tunes and Vaudeville and Buster Keaton and everything like that. But specifically, it was Super Mario Galaxy 2. He said he came out and he wanted to make it feel like a video game. He wanted to make it feel like Super Mario Galaxy 2, where you have to progress through the world and everything. And you have to do everything, and then that's how you progress your character. It's the who is the dude who made the character arc? It's like this character journey. It's his name.
Like who
It's-
invented
it's-
the idea of the character?
Yeah,
arc?
it's like the character journey. It's like
Joseph Campbell?
yes,
Oh.
Joseph Campbell. That's what he referenced that. He said you take the Joseph Campbell character arc, right, the character journey, and then you put that into Super Mario Galaxy 2, and then you make it a Looney Tunes film.
And that's what you get.
And that's what you get. You get Hundreds of
Hundreds
Beavers.
of Beavers.
Oh, so the name of the
You're right.
director
For Uncle Booney.
for Uncle Booney. What's the name of this guy? I mean,
I can't tell.
I can say the name, but what did he work on?
Yeah, he did a bunch of stuff. This Tilda Swinton one, Memoria, that people have seen. Tropical Melody.
I think I can pronounce his name
Cemetery
right.
of Splendor. Yeah, go
His
for it.
name is Apichatpong Weerasetukul. It's
Maybe.
Great job.
Thailand. Yeah, it's pretty confusing to say.
Yeah, but he's a good director.
Mm.
I haven't seen Uncle Booney, but it's on my list.
Who has seen The Substance?
I love The Substance.
I haven't.
I loved it.
Dude,
I've
it was
seen
so
it.
good.
That was a wild ride
Yeah.
of a movie. Demi Moore is terrific. Margaret Qualley
Yeah.
is really good in it. She's been in a lot of good stuff this year. I liked Kinds
yeah.
of Kindness too.
Mm.
The
Is-
Lanthimos movie.
Oh yeah, I forgot I haven't watched that yet.
Yeah, Kinds of Kindness is good. I love an anthology.
Yeah.
So it is anthology. So I think that may be why it was harder. A lot of people didn't resonate with it as much as maybe Poor Things. Also, Poor Things was just like a totally wild, kind of marvelous movie, and Kinds of Kindness is the exact opposite of that.
Okay.
But but I really really dug The Substance.
He had 2 movies back to back next
Kind
year,
of.
right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Poor
Poor
Things
Things
and
was
then-
last year.
Well, Poor Things was technically last year, but it's like he had one come out in December, and then the other one came out like a few months later. This-
Yeah, but you can tell like Kinds of Kindness. They shot that like there's like no like real production budget for it or anything like that. It was just
Okay.
like him with his friends and everything like that,
That's
coming
cool.
down and shooting everything. And
Yeah.
Willem Dafoe is terrific in it, and I think William Dafoe is kind of approaching like, man, this guy might be the best in the game right now.
Yeah, we were talking about Denzel Washington earlier, but
Well,
Willem Dafoe's.
I've heard people say, and I agree with it, that I think he probably has the best filmography out of any working actor. I can't think of a bad movie, or at least something he's not interested in.
Interesting in.
Yeah.
He's in
Yeah.
Spider-Man, so.
He's in, yeah.
Doesn't
The
really
thing
matter
that
what else he does.
the thing I like to bring up that, well, I mean, filmmakers might know, but like a lot of other people, regular film watchers don't know, is that he played Jesus in a Scorsese movie.
Yeah, Last Temptation.
Yeah.
People were like,
Christ.
what?
Awesome.
It's just like
He's great in that.
thinking of him as Jesus, like blows people's
It's
mind, I
wild.
guess.
And
But
also,
he's really
Scorsese
good.
made a Jesus movie.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah,
A lot of people
Scorsese's
know
big
that.
Jesus.
That makes sense, yeah. That
He loves Jesus.
he does love Jesus.
He loves
Um,
Jesus and Catholicism.
How are y'all feeling right now? I mean, we've done an hour and 24 minutes, but we haven't talked anything about
We can talk about
Yeah,
how we all know each
production.
other,
Yeah.
which is through film and filmmaking and through Inwood Park Productions, who
Oh well, I had a bird come in and tell me about you guys.
a bird. We have been making sci-fi films together for the last. I mean, I joined in a year and a half ago ish.
You were on the second one.
Yeah, the second. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, there's a
Oh,
whole
yeah.
Tales
Yeah.
of Jovia series.
You
of
weren't on the
shorts.
second one.
I was like, second one. No.
Yeah, weirdly
You haven't
enough,
been on-
Eli and I haven't really worked together, except for on the behind the scenes
That's
stuff.
because we hate each other. We can't do it on set.
No, we gotta, yeah. If like any
We're
film,
big egos
that
on
it's in
set,
my
yeah.
in my
Everybody's got
contract.
such a
I'm
big
like,
ego.
I'll do it, but Eli.
As
can't
long as
do
he
it.
likes it. Yeah.
Yeah, they're messy contracts, actually. So
That's why we got Harold, the lawyer.
So we've been making a series of sci-fi films.
Sci-fi films.
Sci-fi.
Sci-fi.
That's when Shyamalan does sci-fi.
Signs? Short and sci-fi got mixed up,
Yeah.
and then he became a sci-fi.
Short film, sci-fi
Shorts, yeah.
series. They're all connected. Tales of Jovia, which you can watch on YouTube. At least the season 1.
Stash TV.
Season 2 might be out soon. I just finished doing titles for it.
cool. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
up on Film Hub. I got them to open it up again. So it's on Roku TV in Canada, and it's like it's a bunch of random places.
Yeah.
But
Tales of Jovia.
yeah, season 1 is up on Stash TV's YouTube, I think, right now.
Okay. And now we are making a feature film, which is kind of like, we've done how many shorts are there now?
There's 8 shorts.
8 shorts, all in this series. And then
Yeah.
the next thing is the Mauve Artifact, which is our feature, which we're currently crowdfunding for. listener, if you want to get involved in some way, there's
Dear
perks
listener,
like
please do
there's cool stuff on there, like you can
Please, sir, can I have some more?
I see a lot of movies, and I need money to see movies. So, I mean, if someone can give me money to see movies, then you'll make
And
at
to
least
make
me
movies,
happy.
Yes.
please.
Oh yeah, to make
one of the
movies.
coolest perks is that I think is like you can get the Tales of Jovia on DVD. You know,
Yeah, I have to make all of those. So, they'll be like personal things. But yeah, I like making the VHSs, but VHSs are, I mean, it's not like
most people don't have a VHS.
Yeah,
player,
and like
a VCR.
it's just like you honestly, I could just not put the movie on it and send them just like the cover, and nobody's ever gonna play it because it's just like nobody's a VCR to play it.
I mean, I would, but
I mean, yeah, and like the people who buy it are going to, but you know what I mean.
Brandon's gonna come right for
But
you.
the DVDs are I've made a DVD before, but like I burnt DVDs, but never like built a title thing and all that. So it's a fun little
That's
personal
awesome.
project. Yeah, I quite like it.
Should we do special features for it? Director commentaries.
We could.
Yeah.
we
We
could,
should
yeah.
do a menu.
Behind
Yeah,
the
if
scenes.
somebody gets it, we have to, because then at that point is when I'm gonna really put it all together. Yeah, we could. We definitely could do
We do the Michael Cera Superbad thing where it's just him dancing for like
Yeah.
an hour and a half.
I love the fact that it doesn't loop.
I know. It just goes.
It's so good.
So links for all of that, like for the Mauve Artifact, is going to be in the description. So check that out.
What
show
other
notes.
perks do we have?
What other perks do we have? Good question.
We have t-shirts.
Okay.
There's tons of stuff. I mean,
Yeah, shirts. There's a
Posters.
choose your own adventure thing where you can like go and you play a game, and then it depends on however you answer the questions. Depends on what kind of little like 3D printed miniature. So like you either get a Mauve Artifact or like a Nova sword or a Jovian Admiral like whatever badge. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Depending on that, I like that one a lot. And then there's like there's some movie bundles and stuff. So there's just like you get the movie or you get a T-shirt and you get a poster, you get all these kind of things. There's basically everything. I did a big thing like a long time ago where I went through every kind of Indiegogo and Kickstarter that was relatively successful, and I was like, what do they offer? And it's basically all of those those things. So if somebody else has done it, it's probably on there.
If someone pays enough, can they direct it?
No.
But they can-
How much
produce
is enough?
it.
How
But
much
they
is
can
enough?
produce it.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no number that someone could pay that wouldn't let them direct the Mauve Artifact. Because at that point, you're just like, I'm just going to make it.
Yeah,
for dirt cheap.
yeah. Then I'll make it for $2. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather make it for $2.
And that shoestring that we were talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
They can be in the movie if they pay enough.
what,
Yeah, there's a
uh,
be in a movie thing, and yeah.
from your words, what is the Mauve Artifact, and why should people watch it when it comes out?
It's like a live action anime, basically. It's like a live action sci-fi anime. That's the whole goal, is not to be like, I didn't want to, and I'm speaking for me and Harold, want to make a movie that was like these kind of gritty sci-fi. Like we talked about Dune. I love Dune. I think it's so well put together. But I like a poppy sci-fi. I think Dune is getting somewhere closer to that, but like contemporary science fiction. It's very dark and gritty. And I like the bright, like, live action One Piece type
Speed
stuff.
Racer.
So, yeah, Speed Racer. I like that stuff. So aesthetically, that's like a big part of it. It's like very 1950s kind of Flash Gordon-y style stuff, is the concept. But the movie, like, story-wise, basically, it's about a bunch of people, specifically Nova and John, who you play, John is sent. It's really about John. John is sent by Zhang Gao to a planet called Zeppelin to pick up an artifact that tells about the origins of an alien species. That alien species has a theocracy in their kind of side of the galaxy. And if that information gets out, which they think has been lost at times, like a holy grail, if that information gets out, it threatens the theocracy's kind of stability and can kind of crumble the peace that they've all experienced for like thousands of years. So not only is John sent there with the protection of Rebel Nova, but like a bunch of other people. Tenera, who's a rebel fighting against the theocracy, who's a former royal house member, is going to kind of topple that theocracy, and then like Liv and Lex are going to get it because they can sell it. You know, it's worth a lot of money.
The bounty hunters.
It's like, and they're the bounty hunters. Yeah, they're going to sell it. Daisy the pirate is getting it so that she can, you know, try and build a closer connection with the Keplian Empire as a pirate duchess. And then Dai is going to kill Liv. That's his whole goal. The whole movie is to go there to kill Liv. They kind of all get the information about the location of this artifact at like exactly the same time through a bunch of random circumstances. And they all end up on this planet Zeppelin at the same time. So like the first third of the movie is them getting the information. And then from that, they're on Zeppelin trying to go after the artifact. So it's a lot of fighting, and it's a lot of kind of traveling across a bunch of, you know, landscapes and stuff like that, searching for this artifact. It's very Indiana Jones. It's very National Treasure, as I was explaining, explaining it.
But you're bringing together all of these characters that you've introduced through the series of short films into a feature.
Yeah,
but you don't necessarily have to watch the shorts, I don't think, to understand.
I don't think you have to at all. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be necessary for you to watch. If you wanted to, you could. Like, they all have an introduction that they've gotten before.
Yeah.
But they're all kind of at different places, too, in their life. It's just to kind of... We basically built all of these characters. Each episode of the series is an anthology episode, so it's like they're all disconnected to some extent. And then now it's just like they're all kind of getting brought together. So they have every person has a reason to be there. And initially, we didn't expect... Like, Mauve was going to bring back a couple characters, but I was going to bring back everybody. And now we're like, okay, everybody's got a story. Like, we have a time period skip in the movie that would kind of go back to an earlier time period at different points in time. So we could bring in other characters that were in different ones. So, yeah, it's nice to bring everybody back for it all.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. I mean, it's...
Shooting next year, starting in the fall?
February.
Yeah. Second week of February.
Second week of February.
First day of production.
Yeah, it's the Zangao and John and Nova scene is second week of February. And then Mastock scene and all of that. And so phase 1 and 2 is really what we're crowdfunding for, which is like everything that happens in kind of the first third of the movie, first half of the movie. It's about half of the budget, but it's the first third of the movie because we have to buy costumes for everybody. That's the big financial burden for that, essentially.
Clearly, I need to put all this stuff on the calendar because I'm like, when are we shooting?
There is, if you check your Google Calendar, it'll all be on there.
Sweet. Yeah. I mean, is there anything any of you guys want to talk about as far as the movie or what it's been like?
Do they produce anything on Zeppelin? Maybe lead? So it's Led Zeppelin?
Led Zeppelin, yeah. No, it's a desolate planet that
Was Led Zeppelin there?
Yeah.
That's where he's buried.
What? Buried?
But yeah, all of the episodes lead up to it. So like Lies on Ganymede, which is in the second season, is them getting the logbook that tells them that where the Mauve Artifact is. And like Nova becomes a rebel leader and Sheaf the Warrior, and Dai gets introduced in Dai. And so like all of the characters are kind of have been building slowly but surely to it. So exciting stuff.
Does everybody want to introduce themselves now that we're an hour and a half into the podcast? Introduce yourself and what are you doing? What do you do I guess what you're doing, because we all, I mean, yeah, we're all indie filmmakers, so we wear a lot of hats. But I guess what are you doing on the feature, the Mauve Artifact? For me, I'm Branden Ray Selman. I'm playing the character of John. I've played in 2 short films, and I'm also kind of running sound, but also, I mean, in the scenes that I'm in, Shaik's taking over on the sound. So.
Oh, hi, my name is Khmar Shaik. I, like how Branden said, we take a lot of hats. I am doing part sound, or sometimes full sound, assistant director, and producer, like line producer. And also we're doing other things behind the camera before the production starts. So a lot of things, I guess. Yeah.
I'm Kaylee Smith. I'm doing I'm the head of Vanities, so I'm doing all the makeup and that fun stuff, and then Jackie's helping me. I'm moral support. I guess, as well.
Right.
And
Or production designer.
yes.
Yeah.
Lots of hats, I guess.
I'm just being a menace on set. That's my whole job. I'm Chance. I am co-directing it with Harold and co-wrote it with Harold and Daniel, and through a bunch of other people's inputs and what will continue to be other people's inputs as we storyboard and change that script. And yeah, it's a lot of mine and Harold's kind of ideas come to life. Is what these sci-fi things have been.
Yeah, I'm Eli. I'm the cinematographer, and I also come in about a month before shoot and just start yelling about the last movie I saw and be like, okay, how can we put this into the movie? How can we make the shots look like this? How can we make dye super colorful and neon? How can we make
it is super colorful? I just
super...
rewatched it. It is so good.
I like dye.
Okay,
I like dye.
I've had to rewatch
them
a lot
too.
Yeah,
they're all pretty good.
They're all pretty good.
Dye actually might be my favorite of season 2 on a rewatch, which I was surprised by because I didn't think it was going to be. I thought Chief was going to still be my favorite.
Yeah, that was such a tumultuous thing.
Yeah,
of like even getting there because it was such a quick turnaround after Chief, especially in the we were used to quick turnarounds because we did like 5 in a year, but it was. Everything was bigger now. Everything was bigger for season 2. Chief was the biggest one we'd done, and then Die was like just equally as big, but in a different way because it was like a big set, and it was a lot to organize, and we had to do fight choreography and everything like that.
A lot of moving parts in there.
Yeah, there was a ton. The most moving parts we've had have been in season 2, and then figuring out the look of it and like not wanting to sacrifice. And then also Lies was on the horizon as well, all of it. And that was like pretty set in July because, the cabin and all that stuff and everything was really set. So there was a lot of, I remember I texted in our Die group chat and I'm like, what if we push it back? Like, what if we push it back? And we had a call about it and I'm just like.
And we're like, we can't.
I know.
It's almost impossible because if we push it back, then like we'd have to figure out the next time the actors were. And we worked with a group of not actors, so they were like way more fickle with their time, which is not
and
like
also from all parts of Texas.
Hunter came in from a different side. Like Hunter said, he will. I will say, most reliable person on the set, and did a great job. I think he's a really good announcer in the movie. He was coming from like far away. He wasn't coming. From close by, even though everybody else was kind of coming close by, it was still like a drive to Conroe. So it was still like an hour out, and like you relied on them to pick each other up and get there and bring in the boxing mats and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, boxing mats were a big thing. We wanted to do a whole bunch of set decoration. We had all these big things.
And we couldn't get like half the set decoration to it was just too expensive to get some of it. And then,
that was the problem. We had run out of money. Whatever money we didn't have, we ran out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
We wanted to, because the whole big thing was like, we're making a boxing movie, but it has to be within the sci-fi genre. The boxing is the subgenre, right? Mm-hmm. The fighting is the subgenre. The sci-fi is the biggest thing. And at the time, we were like, we can do a boxing movie, no problem. That'd be easy peasy.
Yeah.
But then we're like, how do we still incorporate the sci-fi-ness of it all? How do we still make it feel like an Inwood Park movie? And turns out the answer was colorful lights.
Roderick and Byron really nailed it with that light.
In the house really helped a lot with that. I mean, it was just so reliable just to, and that was a luxury we maybe not had. I've maybe not had as a cinematographer before. Be like, all right, let me see orange lights at 60%. Like, let me see what this looks like. When I move back, I want the lights to subtly change colors, and then it's like you get to really mess around with a lot of things, and you get to totally kind of alter the look of the movie. You're not as dependent on like the elements, which we had been entirely up until that point. Everything was outside. It was like, well, if it looks sunny and pretty, then you have something that looks like Recontact on Bloom. If it looks, if there's not a cloud in the sky, then you have Neon Comet and everything like that. Or, it's not as much. It's harder to not have to. I don't know what's harder, actually. To search for the look that you want in an environment you can't control, or to create the look you want in an environment that you have to control.
Yeah, I mean, any type of film is going to be, it's going to present new challenges. Like, nothing's ever going to be the same. Exactly. It's just going to be a different set of challenges. It's not necessarily like what's easy or what's, you know.
I think it's harder to do it in a controlled environment when you're doing the lights because of the fact that it all falls on you. You can't be like, well, it was,
the sun's setting,
the sun was setting, so it was a real bad, light. Like, you don't have that excuse. Like, it's all on you.
Yeah.
I also, the dye stuff changed the way we lit from that point forward. Like, we now are doing every scene in Mauve is a color light setup. Like, for the most part, it's like orange, or it's red, or it's purple, or it's blue, or like everything is differently. It's color coordinated now, opposed to just being like, well, we'll just kind of light it with sunlight. Or even when I did Happiness, and we lit this stuff in like the car, we do put some lighting up. It was just so poorly done, and it was just like, okay, it's the color of inside lights on like the LEDs, and we didn't think about it.
Or like Frank or something like that.
Yeah, and like we just didn't think about it, and now it's like everything is like, well, what if we moved it a little bit this way, and this one was purple and this one was red? But what if this one was purple and this one's red?
But also, to get sappy and sentimental, I think that's why Inwood Park is so special, because we allow ourselves growth. We allow ourselves, time to be like, okay, this is what worked on this set and this is what didn't, and we understand that everyone is, film is an art, so it takes practice, and it takes discipline and everything like that. And Chance and Harold have been really great to afford a whole bunch of talented people a lot of opportunities to grow as artists and as filmmakers and everything like that. And it's really kind of wonderful to sort of that we've all been given this opportunity to find, voices as filmmakers and find all this stuff that we like doing, and also continually improve ourselves. So, I mean, we've never stagnated at Inwood Park. You can say anything you want about our movies. You can't say that they are the same thing over and over and over again. Yeah. There's
so different.
They're so different. There's improvements in different areas, and there's things that we get worse at in different areas. There's things, there's like...
Sometimes audio is just terrible.
Yeah.
Like one movie's great and the next movie's audio.
Yeah,
like,
it fluctuates,
and
we allow for... And that's the most important thing, is we allow for growth, and we allow for opportunities to opportunities to become yourself.
I think we were allowed to kind of make mistakes on set, with which we got to learn even when we go to post or when we go to our next production.
Yeah. That being said, all the movies are awesome, and there's not a flaw in them.
To gush about something that I don't think has a flaw in it, Heart of a Bull is so good.
Oh,
yeah. It is so well put together. It is.
I can't wait to see
it. It was
that,
nice.
bro.
I was telling Kaylee when we were watching it, I was like, it's
did
nice
you watch
to...
it too, Kaylee? Okay.
I was
did you like it?
Yeah, I was
okay,
good.
I was like,
because Jackie is my harshest critic, and so she's always like, this is boring. I'm like, like it's a concert movie.
So I love it, but it was nice because I was sitting back and I was like, this is the first thing that like I haven't had to really do anything like for. Like, we just showed up, we filmed for a day, and I've been like, that was solid. Here's I sent you a bunch of notes while I was watching. Like, this might not work, that might not work. But at the end of it, I was like, I don't know. It says Inwood Park Productions, and I'm really happy with it. And I did basically nothing on it. This is fantastic. This is so cool.
Heart of the Bull is a concert film that Eli has directed.
Yes.
And we all helped film the concert. And when is it coming out? What are you doing? What's gonna?
Right now, the kind of steps for it right now. So it's a concert film about a local Houston artist named Orpheus Von Doom, who I found on Instagram because I pestered my friend's band about wanting to do a concert film for maybe a year, and they never responded to me. So I'm like, I'm gonna go find someone. And so I looked up Houston artists, and Orpheus was wearing this crazy orange mask, and I clicked on his music, and
is
it's
it purple?
No, it's orange.
It's orange.
Why
Yeah.
do I remember it being purple? Oh,
I don't know. I mean, the movie's
Well,
pretty
the-
purple and blue.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think
Yeah.
the lighting's pretty purpley.
Yeah,
and blue,
purple
so
and
it
blue.
might make it like kind of like appear.
It might, yeah,
purple.
honestly.
It is
Yeah.
blue sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
I'm
not
sure,
blue,
yeah.
but yeah.
But no, and so I found Orpheus on Instagram and I messaged him and I'm like, I want to make a concert film really bad. I'm a local filmmaker. I want to make a concert film. And he was like, oh, sweet. And so we met up and we talked and we just like it was like how I was with Inwood Park. It was just like instant instant same vision and just like instant like symbiosis and everything like that. And it was so then I for pretty much the better part of all year have spent every single day thinking about Heart of a Bull and thinking about what I want from it. It spawned from me loving the Talking Heads film Stop Making Sense, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. And then it kind of morphed into this MTV concert kind of like if you were watching MTV or something like that in like the early 2000s, yeah, you would probably see something like Heart of a Bull. And so right now the steps that we're doing with it is I'm waiting on a Jackie approval. I'm waiting on a Jackie pass of it. And then I am waiting on an Orpheus pass of it. And as soon as it's there, it is good to premiere. I've submitted it to 2 film festivals so far, but just small ones, just really small local ones, and just to see like maybe what I can gauge from it and everything like that. But yeah, the whole thing I've been doing with that is patience and just trying to, because I mean, it was a long edit, but it was a long edit because I intentionally withheld myself from it sometimes because I'm like, I need to go back and I need to take some time and I need to like see what else I can find in it. And so, but yes, I want to get it out soon. And
It
I want
looks
people to
incredible.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
if people want to go check out Eli, is it on your Facebook, the trailer? I mean,
it's on
Instagram?
my Instagram. Yeah, at not Eli Fischer, the trailer, and it's on TikTok and everything too.
Yeah.
But wait, it is Eli Fischer.
It's not Eli Fischer.
not Eli
So
Fischer.
you're lying.
So-
Is it
I tried to
not?
rebrand this year for Go for Eli, but it didn't catch on. I didn't like it as much, so I went back to not Eli Fischer. And no, but I mentioned in my caption that I kind of feel like a thief because you guys are the ones that made it all look good.
I don't know, dude. Because
And-
I was like,
and-
so that day that we shot it, like I couldn't get the camera to focus.
Yeah, I was
like,
surprised you
am
used
I in a
anything.
good
I
shot? Yeah, I was just
I had
like,
a handicap in my hand.
Yeah.
I feel like I failed you, and then I see the trailer, and there's so many of my shots in there.
Yeah, I know.
And the way that it's edited and put together, I'm like, oh, this is something else.
I use a lot of y'all's shots. I this is crazy, but I use y'all's cameras more than the Black Magic. I think, and the Black Magic is the big honking camera that we're supposed to be using. But
Also, the Black Magic shots look really good.
yeah, the
They're
Black Magic
so
shots are cool.
crisp
They're
there.
super
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, they're very crisp. Yeah, and no, but I use all your stuff. And yeah, I don't know. I just every editing session, I would sit down. I'm like, okay, I need to find something that interests me right now. That I'm like, if I'm looking at this, like, oh, this is fun to try and do, you know. And so there's a lot of overlays. There's a lot. I love a good overlay. Love a good opacity overlay. There's a lot of lots of colors, lots of things going on, lots of transitions, which are really cool.
Could you see your title pack?
Yes,
You
I
got-
got a title card pack for it, and so and that's the other thing. It kind of feels like 8 different music videos in a sense, and that's kind of what I was going for. Is that each song feels unique and distinct from another one, and it has a different thing going for it. So like,
So you're not just watching a concert. You're
exactly.
watching a movie.
It's like, and that's where Jackie helped, because I think she has ADHD. And so I was like, how do I make a concert film for the ADHD Gen Zers that didn't have MTV and aren't going to see Stop Making Sense and anything like that. And it's like you got to keep them engaged the whole time. And so that was my goal.
How long is it?
29 minutes after title cards.
Yeah.
I will say the cuts help.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
cuts
Real-
helped a lot because
I-
I was at first like
The music is good too. Like,
Yeah.
they're a really good band.
I didn't. Chance didn't tell me what it was about at first, so I was like
Oh.
watching, and I was like,
What is this?
"What's?" And then I was like, "Okay, no, this it like, and it's beautiful."
Okay.
And then I
yeah.
liked like the cut part too because it did give my brain a second to be like, "Oh, okay," and then it would switch to the next thing. I'm like, "Oh, cool."
Okay, good. Yeah, that's the pacing of it. You got to find.
So your cuts
what
are
the
working.
80s do. And I guess trick to that. I was Mickey Mousing the whole time, which is a term I just learned. But when you edit, it's when you
Boom, boom, boom.
No, it's when you cut to music. When you Mickey Mouse something is when maybe the Mouseketeers did it or something like that.
Like you cut on a beat.
You
or
cut on a
rhythm.
beat.
You cut
yeah.
on the rhythm.
You cut on a beat, cut on a rhythm. You find something in there and you cut to that.
Yeah.
And so apparently it's frowned upon.
Like you hit a symbol and it's like,
No.
I do that. That's the way I.
Wait,
edit.
that's how I edit.
I
can't-
know, but
sometimes
apparently
I
I
can't.
like that
major
because
time
it's a good
editors.
transition.
Mm-hmm.
Not just visually, but
Yeah.
I think
Totally.
yeah,
I like to
people-
cut on the actual hit, the highest point of that.
Yeah,
hit,
I
like,
love that.
Right at that.
Also, tip for if you guys are editing to music in the future, cut a second before the beat. It'll play out much better.
It tricks your mind.
It tricks your mind.
It plays
Like-
in your mind better.
like
yeah.
cut
one frame?
like literally like one frame, like not a full second,
Yeah,
but like
yeah,
one
just one
like
frame.
split
Yeah,
second.
one frame
Yeah,
on the-
one frame
you
before
hit
the beat.
the left arrow.
So you find the beat, you're like, okay, this is where I need to cut. You press the
Control.
yeah, a little bit, and then you go right here, and then that's when you cut, and that'll
Interesting.
help a lot more.
because it's like.
Yeah,
yeah.
Interesting.
but
I
that's
didn't even
cool
think
about
about
y'all
that.
like Heart of a Bull.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it quite a bit.
It's scary because it's like, who the hell is?
I was looking at the phone.
Oh
The
yeah,
phone.
there you go.
My dad has one of those too. In his
Oh, really?
house. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It was a
Do you have
old
to
like
crank it the
family
whole
thing
time?
that was
I don't
passed
know.
out.
I think well,
Yeah, you crank
If we
it
ever
somewhere.
want to use
whenever
it,
you-
The whole
whenever
time,
you
though?
go to, I think it's just whenever you go to dial.
I think you
I
have
think
to
it's
crank it the
just-
whole time.
is
yeah.
it really?
Yeah, because it's not electric. So
Because
you
it's
get to-
it connects to the operator.
yeah, I mean it is
There's
electric.
no
It's like it's not
dial.
So
like
you have to do the
a
motor
battery.
yourself.
You do the
Yeah.
motor.
Man, that would have been my
operator.
I
dream job.
love
I wanted to
living
be
in the
one of those
21st
people.
century.
The little,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I'm like,
I
man,
love
that'd
that I
been
just
so
have to
awesome.
go.
Operator.
I just want to be an astronaut.
Oh
If you
yeah,
have to
that'd be
call-
sweet too.
But then
A pharmacy.
but then you have
A
to like
pharmacy is-
train to be an
Yeah,
astronaut.
what the
Okay,
hell?
but
I just want to
Messed
be
up.
born in a world where they already had like spaceships.
Or do
It's
that.
like,
Si-
there's, like,
just do that
here.
Simpsons episode where Homer gets selected to go and be an astronaut. He has to go up into space with Buzz Aldrin and some other astronaut or something like that.
I'm
And
just
Buzz Aldrin has this quote where he goes,
I feel like you might appreciate that.
"Whoa, that's awesome! I love The Simpsons." Buzz Aldrin has a great quote. He goes, "Second is right after first." Apparently, he didn't want to say it, but they told him like, "No, it'll be really funny."
It was a book I had when I was a kid, and then I
Whoa.
found it at half price again. I also have a Goosebumps in my bag.
Nice.
Hello, there's a Goosebumps. It's a choose your own adventure Goosebumps.
Oh,
It's
nice.
even
That's
cooler.
cool. All right, y'all. So, anything else before we talk about our social, like where we can find everybody, or any other final? Thank you all for being here.
Yeah,
And
I don't have
bringing
anything.
Film Church
River
Radio
Oaks
back.
The
Yeah.
look we're going for that I'm gonna implement for Heart of a Bull cinematography is maybe Walter Hill meets Spielberg meets James Cameron
Nice.
For Mom.
for Mauve. Yeah, I think that's what we're going for. Walter Hill, like the Warriors. or
I'm looking
Streets of
for
Fire.
I'm looking for Steven Spielberg. That's I think
Spielberg.
it's hard not to. We already keep everything so
Yeah, is
wide
that hacked to do
anyways.
Spielberg for an action movie? Maybe.
It's yeah. Well,
Well, you're
he-
saying Spielberg like Indiana Jones meets what?
The Warriors.
yeah. That that's probably the best way to
I
explain
don't
it.
think
Speed
I've
Racer.
seen The Warriors.
Oh, Walter Hill.
Is it-
You should check out The
Okay.
Warriors. It's a good movie.
Not Steven Spielberg.
Well, yeah, okay. But is there a
No,
specific
there's-
Steven Spielberg sci-fi that you're thinking of, or is it mainly the
No,
Indiana
because I
Jones
think
aspect?
that his sci-fi's are
Yeah,
they're
that's-
more to the child wonder type side of
Okay, yeah.
of
Yeah, you
science
want the
fiction, and I
wonderment
think
kind of thing.
that it's Spielberg's influence
Show
on
and tell.
Lucas, though. I think Spielberg and Lucas have a very similar style sometimes, and at least when they approach like their combined effort of like an Indiana Jones,
Yeah.
like it feels very similar to both of them,
Mhm.
and And so that I think it's that kind of.
So it's
direct
Indiana
stuff.
Jones, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, I love Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Yeah, I'm not gonna hate on that one. I haven't seen the newest one, so I'm sure it's not that
He
great.
goes
But
back in time.
I don't know. Yeah, I saw that clip, but I like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull actually.
Yeah.
I like Shia LaBeouf in it a lot.
Dude, I like Shia LaBeouf.
I know he's a controversial character, but every time I see him in something, I'm like, God damn it, he's probably.
Oh,
good
you
at
got to
it.
talk.
probably good,
Controversial. You got to talk about
probably good.
Midnight in Paris for Harold.
Oh
Maybe
yeah,
that's how we end it.
I gotta talk about Midnight
Yeah,
in Paris.
he
So
wanted to
Harold
talk
loves
about it.
Midnight in Paris, and I will say I love
Gertrude
Midnight in Paris
Stein.
because of Gertrude Stein, because of Kathy Bates in that movie. I also think it's a great. Like it's a really good like concept of a movie of like going back, getting your stuff, reviewed by Gertrude Stein and having conversations with Hemingway, and I love the concept. So for Harold, I'll
Did
talk
that come
about
out this year or when it?
No, it came out in 2010.
This is an old.
Yeah.
Oh, 2010.
Owen
Yeah, it's
Wilson.
Owen Wilson, Rachel McAdams. Is that her name? Is that?
Rachel McAdams?
Yeah,
Yes,
Rachel McAdams. Yes.
And then, but it's got a bunch of like people I can't think
Tom
of.
Hiddleston's
Is
in it.
Marion
Yeah, Tom
Cotillard
Hiddleston is in it.
is in it or no?
Who plays Dali?
Adrian Brody.
Adrian Brody's in it. It's really good. Like, it's well put together, but it's like 1920s Paris. So like Owen Wilson's a writer. He really likes 1920s Paris. And then at midnight while he's walking around Paris, a
just
car
stumbles
picks him
around.
up, and it's got like Hemingway in it and a bunch of other people. And he goes and he's like in Paris in the 20s. And so every midnight he kind of goes and hangs out with these people. So he gets like to meet like Picasso and Dali and Hemingway and F. Scott Fitzgerald, who Tom Hiddleston plays. And Zelda Fitzgerald and all of that kind of stuff. It's really well put together.
Did he just see that recently? For the
No,
first time?
he just loves it.
loves
It's why
Yeah.
if you've ever heard him say Gertrude, it's why he says
He
Gertrude.
says that a
okay.
lot.
Yeah, it's why he
Okay.
says Gertrude. Gertrude's way.
I wish that he could have made it. We gotta have him on the podcast because I feel like I haven't talked to Harold that much. You know, it's like, I mean, I guess all of us have only really hung out when we're working on projects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
I just I would like to talk to him about his like film. Because to me, it's like when we worked on our first couple of things, or when we were first getting to know each other, it was like you seemed more like the artist type, and he was like the producer. In my mind, I know that y'all were still like co-directing and stuff, but
And you came in on a project where I did write the whole project.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I wrote it with John, but I wrote the project. Not to be rude. But I wrote the project.
That is
Yeah.
a bit rude. We'll have to bleep it.
John wrote about John.
Well,
Yeah.
hear me out. It's his character,
Yeah.
and he had a general idea, and I had to kind of tamper it down, and then I wrote the script, and I wrote I put it all together, and then
Yeah.
Harold and me produced it and all that. But yeah, it was a project that was very directed by. I mean, it was direct, but I mean like directed by me and Frost. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
It's kind of happened with me and Di. Like you and Davis really kicked it off and had the characters
Yeah.
and everything like that, and then I just kind of wrote the script, and then everyone ignored the script.
Yeah, it did eventually. Like everybody just stopped. Like, well, and then we even like got.
Yeah, we were
done,
like,
whatever. Fuck
Yeah,
the script.
okay, we're here.
But-
okay. So all the links to everything will be in the description below. You can get the video podcast. Well, I'll just say this in the intro. I'm not going to say this now. It's no point in saying it now. There is video on YouTube and Spotify, but I'll say that I'm going to do an intro at the beginning. But yeah, you can find me everywhere at Selman Scope, or Instagram is the Selman Scope.
Someone beat you to it.
Someone beat me to it.
That
Yeah,
is
and it
really
sucks
funny.
because it's one of those where it's like you go to the page and it says Selman Scope and there's nothing there.
Yeah,
It's
like,
empty.
yeah.
There's nothing
Yeah.
been posted.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do I kill this
That
guy?
sucks.
Oh, mine's unique. Nobody's gonna steal mine from me.
What's yours?
Yeah.
Vomit Beard
Vomit beer.
on Instagram and TikTok, I guess, but I don't
Oh,
open TikTok.
what's your letter? My letterbox is also Selman Scope. Do you have
I don't have a letter.
You got it.
I'm too old, I guess.
Too old. What are you talking about?
Hold on, I gotta pull.
You're
up
my age.
box.
Uh,
I really want people to
uh,
find my terrible movie.
I am prolific on Letterboxd. I'm always on this thing.
yeah,
Um,
I love Letterbox.
I love it. It's my favorite. That's the only thing I open. Yeah, on Instagram, I'm on Not Eli Fischer. And then on Letterboxd and TikTok, I'm at Loads of Lemons.
Okay.
Loads of lemons.
And what about Jackie?
Jackie is on Instagram at, oh god, she has 2. I think it's Jackie AGG. No, Jackie G. It's like underscore Jackie GA underscore is her Instagram, and then her Letterboxd. Let's see, it's something terrible, I'm sure. It is Bibble Nibble.
Cool.
She's gonna love that.
From the Barbie movie, that blue motherfucker with the wings and the purple spots.
Yeah.
She loves that dude.
He's
Called
precious.
Bibble Nibble?
Bibble Nibble.
Yeah.
Is her
His name
Letterboxd.
is Bibble, yeah.
She just got
He's
Patreon,
called
so
Nibble.
she.
Oh my god, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Sorry, it took me a
Little
second.
green
Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah.
He's precious.
I'm Inwood Park Productions on everything. Well, I mean we're Inwood Park Productions,
Yeah,
on everything,
but
but that's
also Inwood
that's
Park
also the yeah. So on all of them, it's I think we have Inwood at everything, including the website. So Inwood Park
Yeah.
Productions.
If you go to your TikTok.
Oh,
it's
is
just your
MySpace
face
still
everywhere.
around? Because I will get way too
Someone
into
trying to
it.
bring MySpace back. I think
I'll get way
people
too
are-
into it, yo. I'll start
your top
coding
8,
my
Yeah, your top. Yeah, your top.
You guys didn't have Orkut here, right?
huh.
Did you know
Orchid?
Orkut?
No.
ORKUT? That was before Facebook.
Zanga.
No, we had
Edmundo.
I had AOL Messenger or whatever, and then MySpace.
Anyone have Edmundo?
Mm-mm.
It was like a school one. It was like school Twitter,
Oh.
and then that got shut down very quickly because everyone was just roasting each other.
Yeah, well, that was
That's like what Yik Yak was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I
Yik
forgot
Yak
about
or
Yik
Kick
Yak.
or.
What's with these names?
Yik Yak, it literally was like everyone just talks shit.
Like teachers?
No,
Tom.
like it was just like it was so bad. Yeah.
posting but localized. So.
Yeah, talk
It's
shit.
like Club
and-
Penguin kind
You
of
would like
Yeah.
walk into school and it would update your location and it'd be like a bunch of people just talking shit about
It's
everyone
all
in school. It was
anonymous.
so bad. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
I'm on Instagram at KDS1020, or if you want my photography, it's Kaylee Smith. Or wait, photos with Kaylee, I think. But I don't have Letterboxd. I have Goodreads, but I think it's the same name.
I couldn't find my letterbox, by the way, in time. But if I find it, I will send
Yeah,
it to you.
I have
Brad-
it.
Yeah, I mean,
You
I'll
have
put
my
all the
letterbox?
links.
I
I'll
follow
put,
you for sure.
Okay,
I'll
cool.
put links in the description.
If
too.
you do,
Easy
because
to-
I have really
I'll have to
unpopular opinions. I have like
But-
Cars ranked at like 5 stars, I think. So
Oh, my letterbox is whack.
Which
So
cars?
I don't
One or
do
two or
ratings.
three?
one Cars 1 is a
Cars 1
perfect
is fine.
film.
Yeah,
it's
a
it's
perfect-
great.
So is number 3.
I haven't seen 3, I don't think.
I think a lot of filmmakers don't do ratings because they feel.
Oh, I do ratings,
do.
and I do.
Judgmental.
I only do. I don't write reviews. I only rate.
Well,
I
no,
want them
I
to know the
review-
nuance. I want them to feel those
I
4
review
stars.
everything. And my rating system is it's either if it's like one of my favorite movies that I really liked, I'm like, man, this is really gonna leave an impact on me. I'll do 5 stars, no matter what it is. I'll do 5 stars. If it's like just like an all right movie, like a Carry On or something like that, I'll just do a heart because I liked it. But like, and I might revisit it or something like that. But it's not like one of the top ones. If I didn't like it, there's no heart. But I write a review for everything.
Cool.
I just went
I'll have to
through.
get
If I
Letterboxd.
if I hated it, I would do a half star.
I just go in and just give them stars. and
There
I
is
go,
very
I like
few
that
half
one. I
stars
don't
in
like
mine.
that one. I like that one. I don't like that one.
Easier.
Just gotta
Yeah.
prepare myself for the conversation.
It's all controversial. Opinions.
Why you didn't
It's
like
all
this
like
movie.
Phantom Menace is 5 out of 5 stars.
Yeah, like I gave.
Just
right
you're
now,
just trying to
I'm
trigger
sitting
people.
at
No, it's
352
Which is
films
your
that are
it's
5
my
stars,
actual favorite Star Wars
and
movie.
31 that are 1 stars.
That's
See, I know it's
controversial.
books, but I
Anyways.
do the same thing with Goodreads. Like
Yeah.
I'll be like, "Listen, I feel bad. You
Yeah,
put your heart and
that's
soul.
how I
in-"
am.
It was
I'm
a
like-
5-star book. I mean, I read the whole thing.
Yeah, you
Like-
you guys made a movie. Like what
Yeah.
a miracle of a thing that you did. So I can't feel that bad.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, not all art is for everyone.
This
I
is
watched
true.
that movie Tuesday with Julia Louis-Dreyfus, where there's a bird that plays death. It's all right.
Yeah.
I think I watched Mary Poppins the other day.
Oh yeah,
The
Oh.
old Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
Julie Andrews.
And maybe because I was in a state of mind of pissed off, I got mad at the dad.
I don't remember it
Because
in that movie.
the dad was too bitchy. Like he would
My
say
dad,
like,
my dad watched that one time when we were kids, and he was like crying
Because of the dad?
Because of the dad, yeah, he was like, yeah, because he
Yeah,
like, felt
at
guilty
the
or
end, the
something.
dad is kind of like likable character, but during the whole thing is like, oh, get the kids off, I have a headache. Or like close the curtains because
Yeah,
the
the
birds are
kids are a
singing because I
nuisance.
have a headache.
But you need Mary Poppins to come in. That's the whole point. He needs to be
And
overwhelmed.
then she gives that word a super what?
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. You would love the sound of it. Something quite atrocious.
That word just changes the whole thing. But I was watching it and I'm thinking, that if you watch it a lot of times, that song is definitely gonna be sticking in your head because it has all the animation characters in the background, and then Dick Van Dyke is actually like tap dancing. It's a beautifully made movie for that time.
Yeah,
but I was also
its visual effects are top
visual
tier.
effects are top tier at that point.
It does the sulfur method or whatever it is. The sulfur lights. It's why they're wearing mesh and stuff, and you can see through it still. It's ahead of its time. It's so good.
But I was watching
way too into it. into the VFX for that like movie that I don't even like that much.
And I was thinking,
what? You into VFX? That's crazy.
Yeah, because we have to learn for our indie projects.
I don't. Yeah, I can't process it. I'll just put images over images for the rest of my life, I think.
I like it. It's
no. I there's lots of merit to it. I think my brain does not work that way.
All right, y'all. Well, I think we should wrap this up.
Yeah.
It's been. I think it's actually, if I'm reading this right, 2.5 hours or something.
Oh, wow. Pretty
Okay.
good.
Well, wow. We talked for a whole
certified
Dune, too.
yappers.
All right, y'all. Thanks for joining Film Church Radio. I don't really know how to end this because
You don't have to go to church to pray. You can watch movies anywhere you want. On your phone.
Exactly.
On your phone, in the bathroom. You don't have to
In
go
the bathroom
to the
straight
theater.
away.
You don't have to go to church to pray, and you don't have to go to the theaters to watch movies.
Bro, that
was beautiful.
That was
That's a good
amazing,
tagline.
Okay.
Holy shit!
Say it in your words. Yeah.
I can't say it
That
any
was
better than
beautiful.
that.
It's just gonna be clips of Eli saying.
Yeah, I'm
it
just
every
gonna put it
time.
in every episode.
Yeah. You can use my voice.
All right, y'all. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Are those the River Oak seats?
Woo-woo.
Or where do you
No,
get
those are. I do have River Oak seats. I'm gonna stop this.